2. Okay, let me go Twitch, Techonomics, and Twitter. And we are live. Just give me a second here to make sure all the platforms are.
Sure.
And then I'll introduce you. I'm sure everybody knows who the heck you are, though.
I would imagine.
Yeah, most people do, yeah. And okay, that looks good.
Send me a link to the stream because it's not popping up on the page, the YouTube page.
You know what's interesting? Oh no, it's live. It's live.
Okay.
It just popped up. You know what's interesting? Sometimes it will there we go. Do you see it? I can see chat. Yeah, sweet. Okay, let me just make sure. So Kick is good, Twitch is good, YouTube is good, and Twitter is good. The amount of horsepower required to run like 7 streams. Fucking, I have 2 graphics cards in that PC just to do it. Yo, what's up, everybody?
I bet you that there's probably some service out there where you upload one stream and then it'll split it.
It's called Restream, but I refuse to pay for anything. I won't pay for it. Yeah.
Well, it's not like you don't have the hardware.
Exactly. All right, everybody. So welcome to Techonomics Podcast, episode whatever the heck it is, episode 7, I believe now. So we got good old gamer coming back. Is it 7? I think it is. So good old gamer coming back to update you guys on his life, talk about things that have changed and things that have not changed. And just shoot the shit. Yeah, so you guys have been requesting that I bring him and Paul back on. I'm working on Paul still. I'm working on it, but Chris is here first. So Chris.
Hello, everybody.
Yo, so give us the gist then. So how is the... Let me actually turn my audio down just a bit. I'm actually redlining. Tell everybody, how is your business going versus how your YouTube business was going? And then just so people can get a context of like, being a social media person isn't everything, right?
No, like social media definitely has like its perks and its advantages, but like very early on, you kind of realize if you're not actually selling a product, there's no money in it. And you know, Paul and I talked about this plenty here on Techonomics, is everybody is selling you something. There is not a single successful YouTuber that is not selling you something. Because there's no money in actually just producing content. You'll see people all the time be like, well, you know, if you get umpteen millions of views, yes, how many channels get 50 million views a month? Very, very few. And that's about how many views you would need to make even... I'd say like McDonald's manager wage. You need to do about 50 million views a month. Now with the live streaming and stuff and the supporters, that's another story. But once again, now you're monetizing people. Now you're selling something. See, but when you're not selling something, you make no money.
You know what's interesting about that? So you know how I sell that online course? I'm not sure if you know. I came up with
I saw.
There's YouTubers that have like 10 times as many subscribers as me asking me for help to build a course for them and shit because they make no money. No, it's like no, it's just that you're 100% accurate. Like people like my COD bro streamer buddies, they make no fucking money. Like they're broke, dude. It's crazy. But yeah, keep going though. Yeah.
Yeah, so like YouTube, there's really no money. Like Ivan's actually one of the first, like obviously I was doing this part-time. My wife works full-time. I stay home with the kids. Same story that Paul had. That's the main reason why, like, we didn't need a lot of money, you know, maybe like $1,000 a month cover, you know, some food and expenses and stuff. But of course, as you know, things got more and more expensive, that actually became much, much harder. And then of course, everybody else became more broke as well. So it was kind of this double whammy of, you're going to get less support and you need more money all at the same time because of just the way the economy was. But the only reason why Paul and I could do this for as long as we did was the fact that we didn't need a lot of income. And then once you do need like a reasonable amount of income, you can't do it without selling things. And there's just a lot of things that clicked at the same time. You have to sell something. Like Ivan was selling his courses. That's how he was able to be independent and do his thing. But then even places where you're like, well, they don't sell me anything. You start noticing, like once you realize that this is the case, you start noticing what they're really selling. And they're always selling you on affiliate links, or they're selling you on something, whatever it is. They're selling you on a narrative. And what's the end goal of that narrative? That narrative is to sell you whatever the heck it is that they're selling. So, for example, if everybody in this chat has, let's say, 5090s, 4090s, how do you sell these people something? Well, you can't sell them as something faster, so you have to sell them something different. Why do you think the AMD thing was so big? It's because nobody has AMD, because nobody buys AMD. But you can get people, if you get them so mad at NVIDIA, you can actually sell people things that legit just don't need anything.
Dude, that's a fascinating point. Not to interrupt, but it was like I got like 5 Twitter tweets that were like, did you see the new Jay video? I'm like, no. And they're like, he switched back to AMD again. I'm like, he does that every 3 months, guys. What the hell? So he's like, I'm switching to this because I have problems with this affiliate link. So he's just like, like I didn't even think about that. That's a fascinating point.
Yep. Well, you start seeing these things a lot more clearly when you're not in the middle of it anymore. And with the fact that product launches are so far in between anymore. Remember, like, new GPU, 6 months later, new GPU. Like, you could just recommend NVIDIA. It didn't matter because every 6 months there was a new card for you to pitch. So it was perfectly fine. But now it's like 2-3 years. And that's probably going to go to 3 to 5 years, and probably up to once a decade, because technologically these things are done. They're cooked. They're done. There is no more performance to be had. Sorry, guys. They've maxed out the power. Like, it's done. Nodes come like once a decade anymore. So like they just can't get faster, and they can't suck up any more power. So these things are just going to keep going on and going and going and going. So these guys, they literally just have to bounce back and forth and just hope that there's enough of an audience that's like, you know what? I never gave AMD a shot. I'm going to just buy the thing and try it. Or hey, I've been on AMD forever. Or, the next big one's going to be NVIDIA works on Linux. Oh, I've never used NVIDIA. I've been on Linux. Let me try an NVIDIA card. Guarantee you, the second Steam OS supports NVIDIA, just watch the video.
It's like this it's like a hobby that nobody wants to let go of. It's like yeah, because I get that a lot too, because people were like, when you ask them what the goal is, they never have an answer. Like when they want to buy new stuff, it's like they'll buy a CPU that has a 100 megahertz fucking clock speed increase, right? And it's like, what are you buying that for, man? It has the exact same performance in the game, but they just want to spend money on their hobby, and they don't want to let it go. So if they can just keep switching vendors back and forth and testing constantly, it kind of it's like it keeps their hobby alive almost in a certain way.
Yes, it's like you got kicked out of the bar because it's too late and all the bars are closed, but somebody brought a 6-pack, and you're just like, all right, we have to keep this. You can't drink too much because this 6-pack's got to last till the sun comes up, and I want to go to wherever and eat breakfast. And you're just passing like the same 3 beers around for like 4 hours until the sun comes up, because you just don't want the party to end. The party has stopped. The music has stopped.
It kind of has, yeah, in a certain way, yeah. Like the 5090 is so fast, it's ridiculous, and it does pull like 600 watts, but it still doesn't get like as much FPS as you think it would in AAA games, right? So it's like it can't.
It's what, 50% bigger than the 4090 and draws like 50% more power. So not only is it 50% more shaders, 50% more power, and you're getting what, 33% faster. Like, granted, the 4090 was a monster, so being 33% faster than that's like insane. But you can see the massive diminishing returns here, because if you just had 50% more shaders, you'd be at like 12% faster.
Yeah.
If you had 50% more power only, you'd still only be at 12% faster. So what are you going to do past this thing? Like, this is literally, we're done. Like, they maxed out graphics cards. It's monolithic. It's giant in size. It costs a fortune to build, and it draws all the power your socket can possibly produce. There is no go faster button. They have to wait 4 node shrinks to see any sort of performance increase worth mentioning, because each node shrink's only going to get you 10 to 15% faster. Like, we're already at the wall. You can't go faster, can't push more stuff into it. So each node only gets you 10 to 15%. So you need what, 4 or 5 of those before you start seeing 30, 40% performance gains.
Well, yeah. What's the Blackwell Pro card is what, like 5% faster or something like that, and it has like 30 or something more, or no, 20 more CSMs or something like that. Yeah, it's not scaling.
It gets exponential. Like legit, I would say 120 SMs or CUs is probably 128 is probably going to be the sweet spot. The 4090, I believe, is the sweet spot graphics card. Just basically, they have to make the same thing, and then just as nodes progress, they just have to increase clocks.
That's it. You know what though? That sounds kind of like an NVIDIA and AMD problem. The nice thing about being a tech tuber, or the one thing that we never really had to worry about, was like being creative with our content to a certain degree, because it's kind of like NVIDIA and AMD's job to sell
sure
their gamers shit, right? So someone just said, clearly we need SLI. It's like what if NVIDIA came out with like a ray tracing adapter card that's like PCIe Gen 6 or something, and they communicate. Like NVIDIA will find a way to sell them something. Like they'll sell them something. Right?
And NVIDIA definitely knows where they're going, and they're going to keep the high-end PC. Mm-hmm. Basically, they're really only selling one graphics card a generation. Like, let's be honest, guys.
Yep,
they sell
100%.
The flagship, and then whatever. There's just reject dies that they sell to everybody else. So they're going to keep the $3,000 to $5,000 GPU buyer, because that's like, they're fine with that. That's what they charge businesses. So, okay, if you want to pay as much as businesses, we will sell you good stuff. NVIDIA is perfectly fine with that. But what the rest of the market is doing is they're noticing, like, the handheld PC market is the future. NVIDIA is going to make their own box eventually, their own ARM-based ecosystem. If they can get your Steam library, I personally think that NVIDIA needs to partner with Valve. And Valve needs to support, obviously, on Linux, they need to support the NVIDIA graphics cards, but they also need to somehow come up with a translation layer where your x86 stuff will just run on ARM, no problem. Just like how, your DirectX stuff runs in Vulkan.
I think they're working on that right now.
Of course they are.
Yeah, they there was some kind of benchmark that leaked or whatever, where like they had some kind of SoC with like, I think it was like 16 ARM cores or something, and it was able to translate x86 code into like 60 FPS. Like you can't use it for like 480 hertz, but you can use it for like 60 FPS gaming without a latency penalty of some sort, right? So they're working on it.
Right. And I mean, here's something, like I've mentioned this before, like ARM code for a lot of modern games, ever since the Switch has been available, because the Switch is ARM plus NVIDIA. So the code's already out there. They could just make ports. Now, this is something, NVIDIA being like the largest company on the planet, they could just fund this if they wanted to and go, all right, every company in the world, here's $100 million for every developer on the planet. Port every game that you have on Switch to our new NVIDIA box and make it work via Steam.
They could.
So, and then when they do that, guess what? You're now locked into both Steam and NVIDIA forever. And as
Xbox
long as they're more
efficient.
efficient.
Their own box too, actually. So they're gonna do. This is the next Xbox. They're taking another AMD APU type thing, and they're making it run on Windows. So it's just gonna be a PC. I know they should have done that like 10 years ago, right? But
they're so far behind. Like I don't know. Microsoft has shot themselves so far in the foot. Like they should have just kept Windows 10 alive forever, like they said that they would. And I think that would have gone better for them. They're scrambling, but I think gaming and Windows is done. I think the writing's on the wall. There's literally it's game over. Because Windows is just so terrible. The bloat is awful. The fact that you can't run these really low powered systems on Windows as efficiently. And this is where efficiency really comes in. You're going to get a lot more frames per second under Linux than you will under Windows. And I mean, they could work some magic. Maybe they could trim it all the way down, but it's still Windows underneath the hood.
Yeah.
So I don't think it'll ever be able to quite compete. And when we're talking about a future where 15-watt gaming, 15 and 7-watt gaming. That's the future.
Yeah.
Total system, 15 watts maximum. Now, granted, you could have it docked at maybe like 25 watts or something, but like that's the future. The future is now at locked power consumption and who can deliver the best under these conditions. That's the future of gaming. And I think NVIDIA, I mean, I would bet money that NVIDIA is going to kill that market when they get there. I just think that they're putting all their chess pieces together, or they just don't care. Maybe they're so drunk on AI money. I mean, I'm surprised that it's not done.
That's true. So, I'm surprised they even... People were bitching so much about the Blackwell graphics cards, the RTX 5000 and all this shit. I'm like, guys, we should probably be grateful that they released anything ever and not just left us with the 4090 forever, because AMD's never going to catch the 4090. So they literally they
will
anything.
Eventually,
well, yeah,
but
10 years from now, God knows how long. Whenever they decide to actually take a risk on a big die, which they're never going to do ever again. It's a joke. But that Xbox box, though, there's going to be the 6090 or whatever. There's going to be like the $5,000 graphics card. Then there's going to be Xbox. And that's going to be it. Because like anything below that, like whatever the next Xbox might be, like a 4080 or a 4080 Super or something like that. And imagine if that's like $1,000 and it just works. Karen buys it for Timmy. Timmy can do schoolwork on it. There's not going to be any mid-range or low-end PC building. That's gone, dude. I think that's going to happen in the next like 5 years.
It's pretty much dead. I mean, I can go on Mini's forum and go pick up like a complete mini PC for on sale for like $300.
Oh,
that's going to play. Yeah, I mean, and you can pick those up for like $300. It'll play like 99.9% of games. And you have people, you know, like UE5 is probably the greatest thing that the graphics card market has ever produced. The most unoptimized, worst looking thing ever. So it's like it's the double whammy. Yeah, the games look terrible, they run awful, and you know, people keep buying it. But it's for the people that buy 5090s and stuff like that to go, well, I at least get 30 FPS in this game. Meanwhile, you know, your piddly card's getting like 6. You know, okay, whatever. Nobody should be playing the game anyway, and the game should have just been built from an engine that doesn't suck. Or better yet, what I realized, I was watching somebody, and they were talking about why programming's so bad. It's because all of the old programmers from the 90s and early 2000s who actually wrote code in assembly, like actual programmers, these guys are all retired or moved on. They're gone. The entire market is built on people that have no idea how to actually program games. They only know how to work within an engine, which means that all the crap and the bloat that's there is just going to continue to pile up because these people are going to become less and less efficient. And I was like, this makes a lot of sense. This is the reason why the game
take care of it eventually, though. Like AI should be able to clean up the code or whatever.
Which is why when all these people go, but what about my jobs? I'm like, well, you're doing a terrible job at it. Now, if you were like the guy who built Roller Coaster Tycoon in assembly, that guy would still have a job because he would be double checking the AI because that's how good he is.
Yeah.
You know, so you're going to have like, I don't know, probably 100 people just double checking AI at some point. I agree. That's a job that is just going to go away. For sure.
Meta was, Mark Zuckerberg was offering like a $1 billion salary. What was... It was something crazy.
Yeah, I remember hearing something about that.
Yeah, it was like he was literally offering a $1 billion salary just to have an AI developer. And like everyone's like, that doesn't make any sense. It's like, it makes perfect sense because you only need a couple of those guys. And then
you
AI
only need
replaces everybody else. Yeah.
Yeah. There's Zuck, this guy. Who else works here? The janitor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. What a profitable ass model. Speaking of profitable, back to the whole like content creator monetization thing, because the minis forum we were just talking about, people think that like tech tubers make their money with samples.
I mean, you can, but how many samples do you get?
It's not worth it though. It's literally It's oh my god, it's so not people. I don't do sample unless they're sending me a 5090. I won't take the sample anymore because it's like. It's not. It's like they send you like some stupid ass fucking like AIO, and it's like, yeah, we sent you a $150 AIO. We expect you to do like production quality B-roll on it, and like fucking have all these talking points and how awesome this AIO is. It's like the thing is, the majority of tech tubers do it because they're so broke, dude. That's why you see there's like this entire landscape of like, it's basically just an infomercial tube. Just call it YouTube is infomercial tube.
I mean, they're influencers. I mean, that's all it is. That, yeah, they're just like the late night commercials. For those old people watching this, remember when you'd get up at 2 or 3 in the morning? There's no TV anymore. It's literally just commercials. The whole show was a commercial. That's what most of YouTube is.
But those people don't get very many views though, because I think people can kind of smell when it's a stupid infomercial. Do you know what I'm saying? They can kind of, except for like Jay, when he does anything, that guy makes fucking pure bank, right?
All right, like here, there's the smart way to do it, and there's the stupid way to do it. The stupid way to do it is buy shit. Okay, that's not gonna work. The smart way to do it would be, and I'm not picking on this guy. This guy is doing great, and every time I reached out to him, he's been great to me and my channel. But look at like an ETA Prime. Number one, he's more successful than everybody outside of like Linus in the PC tech.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, he's way bigger than Jay and all these clowns.
ETA Prime, you said?
Yeah, ETA Prime. But literally, all he does is he takes a product, tests the product, and basically just tells you what's good about the product. There's nothing wrong with this. If there's anything like glaringly bad, yeah, he will tell you what's going on. But if it's just like marginal or something that's just kind of a normal quirk of the device, that will not be brought up. It's basically, here's product. I tested the product. This is what product does.
Dude, what?
It's an infomercial, but it's an infomercial done right.
Yeah, I'm literally watching his channel right now. What a fantastic idea for a channel. It's all, he has like a GoPro on his forehead or whatever, and he's just like,
well, it's just mounted. Yeah, it's just on a camera mount. Yeah.
Oh,
yep. And he just takes pictures of him playing games. This is how fast this game runs on this device. You know, and he doesn't bug you with the link in the description.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he gets sampled for everything. And, you know, anytime a new device comes out, you know what benchmarks he's going to run. And you can compare it directly to whatever else he did because he has the same suite. So it's actually very useful in that regard if you're trying to compare.
Non-offensive. Yeah, he doesn't pander to either side. He's just like, this is what it does. And yeah, it's a glorified infomercial channel.
And he does amazing. You can see the 150, 200K views per video, and he pumps out 4 or 5 of those a week. He's doing the 50 million views plus the affiliate links.
Why have I never heard of this guy's channel before?
That's the YouTube bubble that they kind of force you in. But there's more guys like that are, they do good videos. And anytime you type in like a device that you're looking for, these guys probably have tested it. And I'm not going to lie, like I like to see their opinions because over the years I know what they like and what they don't like. There's some guys that'll do like an hour-long review. I was like, this is a bit much for me. I don't have this much time. But yeah, there's basically different guys that have carved out their own little niche of this. There's no drama whatsoever because they don't need it.
Yeah.
Because there's always a new product. They've broadened their horizons enough to where there's always something new. There's hundreds of different companies making these things. And yeah, that's where the real money is. Like these guys will put J and GN and literally anybody who's not Linus out of business. Because that's the proper way of doing this business model. The old way of doing things, the hubs and all of that, they're done.
I agree, but they're hanging on, like they're you can tell that all their channels are getting a lot more controversial as they go. They're getting a lot more rage baity because they're I think they can kind of see their views going down over time, so they make more and more controversial shit trying to get those views back. That's why GN constantly does like those like GN, for example. He did
yeah, I'll get it in my Discord. Did you see what GN just said? I was like, something bad about something.
That's exactly it. And then he literally said that he was going to put that stuff on a different channel, like because he was like, I'm gonna put the investigative reporting negativity stuff on a separate channel. I think he did that for like a week, and now it's all back on the main channel again. Because like,
yeah, it's the only thing keeping his channel in business.
Yeah, if he does like a case review, nobody gives a shit, right? If he does a CPU review, nobody gives a shit, kind of thing, right?
I mean, he might get some views on like a CPU or a GPU, but it's not enough to matter. Like, you can't hire people. Like, he himself shouldn't be able to go full time anymore doing that, let alone hiring other people. And that's the other thing that like you'll see a lot of these places do. They have to contract. Like, if they have anybody, it might just be an editor.
Yeah.
And they're gonna have to do all the work themselves. They're not gonna be able to afford 5-10 salaries unless these guys are making like, I don't know, what's minimum wage now? Like $15 an hour. That's 30 grand a year. Who wants to work for 30 grand a year? 80 hours a week. Nobody's going to do that. You'd have to pay people at least 6 figures. In today's world, 6 figures is kind of like bare minimum for anybody halfway decent. So if you're not paying $500,000, you're like, it's just not doable anymore.
People don't
that
get
business
that shit,
model is
though.
over.
It's like, dude, I get so much. People are like, Jufus has lost touch with the normie audience. Like, 'cause like, I'm like, the one of the shorts that I did was like, why on earth would you ever buy a 9070 XT when you can just buy a 5070 Ti for $200 more? And the majority of the comments that because one's like 600, one's like 750 or whatever. Like, it's $150 difference, right?
Between $600 and $1,000, they're both in the range.
Yeah, well, no. The comments that I got, everyone's like, that's a 33% difference, bro. I'm like, I guess technically it is a 33% difference.
Sure.
Yeah, but I'm like, but it's still only $150. So you are you really in so much scarcity that you're gonna not just work a few more hours at Taco Bell to buy the Nvidia one for $150 more? But like, to these people, that $150 is so
well,
like, I don't think I've lost touch, is the point I'm trying to make. I think before I even did YouTube, I made enough money to be able to not question $150. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, you were in a financial position where you can actually afford either of the graphics cards.
Yes.
Now, here's the thing, and I always said this. If you have $500 for a graphics card, and that's the only $500 you have, you do not have $500 for a graphics card. In reality, you have $0 for a graphics card.
Yes.
You need to have at least $2,000 or $3,000 in the bank. So you're actually negative $1,500. If you sat there and was like, I have $500 for a graphics card, well, you're negative $1,500. You have $2,000 in the bank. Then you have $500. Now you have $500 for a graphics card. And then if you did want the $700 graphics card, you go, all right, well, whatever. I'll just pay the extra $200.
Like, who, like, man, I can't.
It's FOMO, dude. It's the people that are glued. What I've realized, it's the people that are just addicted to the internet. Now, people that are on the internet for less than 2 hours a day total, your entire internet usage, including work, 2 hours a day or less. Now, granted, work might differ a bit, but if you're off the internet, this is making perfect sense to you. You're like, hey, this guy's talking normal,
bro. $150 is like a dinner for two. Like, let's
yes
get some perspective.
I mean, it's
here.
It's a nice dinner.
It's a nice steak, a nice steak dinner with like 2 glasses of wine after.
But let's be real. Olive Garden for 2 is $100.
Literally, dude. It's like these motherfuckers are like, that's a 33% difference, Doofus. You've lost touch with that. I'm like, bro, you have way bigger problems. If you're looking at the price tag of a 9070 XT and you're like, I could save $150 by going AMD and having driver problems. Like, it's almost like, I don't know how to portray to these people that they should not be looking at TechTube at all.
It's a priorities thing, and telling people that their lifestyle is
there you go
wrong. To just the short answer is you're living life wrong. You're lifing a little bit wrong, It sounds awful when you say that, but it's more like I just want you to recognize that you could be doing better just by tweaking your lifestyle. And this comes from a place of wanting to help you, not harm you.
That's what people
but you
don't
need
get,
you need the slap across the face to understand, hey, there's a problem here before you can go, okay, how do we fix this?
So on that though, so back to the whole like YouTube monetization. What's the difference now between your business model and what you did on YouTube? And so you saw that how did you improve your life then? So you're not like a whining on, like you didn't sit on the podcast whining for fucking subs and donations in perpetuity and just what you took action. You saw an opportunity somewhere else. You took action. And why don't you describe if it worked or if it didn't work?
Well, it's definitely working, and it's a work in progress. You will have to spend a lot of money to learn. So this is another thing. You need to have either time and patience or money. One of the two. So because you're going to have to go through a learning period, of course.
For any, by the way, guys, skill set, right?
For anything, like you. There is so much opportunity out in the world to make like real money. The best way that I describe this to people is, how much do you pay your plumber when he shows up and he twists a couple things under your sink and whatever? He's charging you $100 an hour. Now you have to ask yourself, do you believe that your time is more valuable than your plumber's? If you say no, I mean, fair. But I would assume most people would be like, yeah, my time's worth at least as much as this guy's. Cool. I agree with you. So why aren't you earning $100 an hour or more? You can literally just go pick, like if you just buy a cheapo trailer and hitch it to the back of your truck or SUV or whatever, you can go pick up branches and stuff. Those guys get money. You can go haul, like literally. The thing is to make money, you have to get out of your house for the most part. Everybody wants to be in air conditioning and all the rest of that. That's something that I noticed. The more you're not at home, the more money you're going to make. And the more risk you take, obviously the better the reward. But for my business, what I saw was an opportunity where you could buy something for $1 and just sell for $2. And this is a perfectly scalable thing. So if I spend $1 million, I make $2 million. I'm up $1 million. I made $1 million just by having $1 million. Okay, this is basic business 101. This is retail 101. The reason why I went into retro video games is, number one, there's high demand. There's a lot of people that want it. It is actually on the ascent. There's a lot of YouTube creators. Like, there's a lot of people just getting in. So we're kind of like at the ground level.
I actually have another question for you after. Remind me after you finish. But I have the question. Yeah.
Write that down on Notepad or
That's
something.
a good idea.
Piece of paper.
I'm gonna do that right
question
now. Question
for later.
I know I got this. Yeah, good idea. Yeah, keep going.
All right. So, anyways, so I noticed that obviously there was a market there. And then these are items that are readily available. I can go down to the pawn shop. I can go to Facebook Marketplace. Like, I can find the stuff. It's actually available. So this is seeming like a reasonable business model here. So I buy for $1. How do I get $2 out of it? And over time, I learned increased quality, higher quality. I sell the absolute best quality video games, retro video games, that is possible. I have thousands of dollars built in, into machines to get scratches and stuff out of all the discs. I put new cases on there. So my thing to get the maximum amount of money out is to deliver the highest possible quality. Now, you could go cheaper. I could not do all of that stuff and just pay less and charge less, and so on and so forth. But for me, the biggest difference in the business model is I get a thing, I'm putting an investment in, and then I'm finding somebody who wants the thing, and I'm giving it to them. I'm happy. I get money. They're happy. They're getting a quality product. That's it. We're done.
How many hours a day do you kind of work-ish, do you think, on average?
2. I'd say 2 to 4 at most.
The thing I was gonna, you kind of ruined my point a little bit, but like the thing I was gonna say was like why the hell so if you discovered if you read like monetization books and stuff, one of the first things, it's like, go to Costco, buy a flat of water bottles and sell them for $1 each, so you make like 70% margins. Like if you take you know
that's NVIDIA level, boys.
No, I know, that's what I'm saying. Or you buy things locally, sell them on eBay for profit. So why do you think nobody wants to work? So I was gonna say, Why does nobody want to work like 8 hours a day to improve their life? But you're only working 2 hours. You're working less now than you ever did on YouTube, editing fucking videos and shit, making infinitely more, right? So why doesn't everybody do that though? Like what's the
I'm also
barrier?
I don't know, to be perfectly honest. I don't know.
Yeah.
I use the example. Like I use the example of, you can just go pick up tree limbs. Like that's a whole business model. You need maybe a $1,500 trailer and maybe another $1,500 for a hitch. So for $3,000, boom, you have a fully functioning business model. You go out there, you can make a Facebook page for free. You can go talk to people for free. If you want to go to like local events, like where they have like the outdoor things where people walk around and buy shit, you can just be like, hey, I do tree stuff. You spend $50, you spend a Saturday, get in the network, talk to people, be like, hey, I do this. And I guarantee you're going to get some sort of success. So I don't know. I think COVID killed a lot of the younger kids because I think it just crushed their social skills. I was in sales forever. So me being able to talk to people and network is relatively easy for me.
You think it's a social
it is a
communication thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you won't get business if you can't communicate effectively. And if you can't sell yourself or your product, you're not going to get business. So I think that's a part of it. But you can overcome that as well. For example, like my wife and I, like we balance each other out a lot. Like I'm not very emotional. She's a little more emotional. She'll tell me when I'm screwing up. I'll tell her when she's screwing up, and we balance each other out. So if you have a spouse that balances you out like that, maybe you need to talk him or her into doing what you can't or what you're not good at. But what I would personally recommend, if you're young, if you're in your 20s and you're looking to do your own business, get some sort of sales job where you have to talk to people for a living and get them to buy stuff, like a commission job of sell cars, sell furniture, whatever. If you can do that, you can run your own business.
Okay, so here's the thing. It's interesting. I'm not even necessarily talking about running your own business. I'm talking about like making an extra $150 to be able to buy the thing that you want instead of like if you I guarantee.
I think these two things are linked because typically if you're working for somebody else, the profit per hour is usually not very good. You can work for like a small business or something, but usually, Joe's Plumbing is only going to hire people that Joe likes because he's only got like 3 people. So it's not like you can just go down there and get a job where, okay, yeah, he's charging $100 an hour, he'll pay you $50. That's probably a high demand job. So you're stuck with like Taco Bell where they want to pay you like $3 an hour, but the government says they have to pay you like 12 or 15 or whatever.
You could do like man, I just don't I can't grasp this. It's like I have screwdriver. I buy screwdriver at flea market for $1. I sell it on eBay for $3 because it has a cool blue color on it.
Right.
Why aren't people just doing that?
That's a business. That is starting a business.
But that requires no social skills though.
Right. You can go that route, or like you could put it at a flea market booth or something like that. Well, a lot of people don't. Number one, a lot of people don't know that that's an option. Let's be real. If you go to school and you see what they teach people, this is how you make money.
Fair. Yeah, that's probably what
nobody.
It is, yeah.
And yeah, so if these people have never actually bumped into an entrepreneur in their life, which is very possible that somebody has never met one ever, maybe outside of them buying like McDonald's from them, I'm talking about like an actual conversation with somebody who knows how, money works. Buy for $1, sell for $2. You do this a million times, you're a millionaire. This is not rocket science.
Dude, I talked to like I had like a barbecue party the other week, and I'm talking to like some people that are not my age. They're like maybe like 7 years younger, so they're like 32, 33ish, right?
Aging yourself.
No, I don't care. Everyone knows how old I am anyway. I look good for my age. Thank you very much.
There you go.
But so I'm talking to this one girl. She's like, yeah, I just come home from work and I play a lot of sports. I do like golfing. I do pole dancing. I play whatever the hell else she was talking about. I'm like, how the hell do you do 5 nights of sports per week? She's like, what else am I going to do after work? I'm like, make money,
or
just
family, or community, or well, this is part of the problem with society as a whole.
It's just the fact that they want to do they want to go to their work, they want to come home and then just kind of exist, and then they that's it. That's what they want. They want to be able to pay their bills and exist.
Yep. And my brother's the same way. Like, I love my brother, and he's the exact same way. That's him. I want to go to my job. I want to come home. I want to go to the bar and shoot pool. And then I'm like, okay, so what else do you want out of life? What do you mean want? It just doesn't compute.
Yeah, it doesn't compute. Yeah, like they look at me like I'm retarded. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, what do you mean? What do I mean? They're like, what do you mean? We just that's it. Like that's
to quote the man himself, what is the goal? A lot of people they just have a big question for everything. Whole life is just a big meh. And that this is a huge problem. Well, it's a huge problem in our society. Well, a big part of it has to do with secular materialism. This is what it breeds. When the pleasuring of the self is the highest goal, what do you do past that? So this is the reason why communities are being destroyed. This is the reason why society as a whole is falling apart, because everybody's just busy doing what's best for themselves, and that's the end of it. And
it's not even what's best for them. It's just literally
convenient, pleasureful.
Convenience is a good word. Yeah, it's just like
convenience is a big one.
Yeah, I just want to exist with the least amount of friction as humanly possible.
Correct.
That's what I want to do. And it's
and think of it like this: first off, I guess we're getting to the root of the problem, why people aren't going out there doing this. But to get up and to find these opportunities that are literally everywhere, you have to have friction, because this is going to take away from your your beer night or what. Like, you're just not going to be able to. You're not going to be able to live that lifestyle if you're starting to get something off the ground to get you past the 9 to 5. If you want to make the $100 or $200 an hour in your free time, because you still have to pay your bills, you have to do that crap job that you're at. Then you have to work an entirely other job for no money, by the way, until it starts doing a thing. And when you go back to the whole friction thing, like, it's incompatible with the way that people have been taught to life. So people have just been lifing wrong.
I have a question, actually. Do you have difficulty, because you're like an entrepreneur now and like you're like crushing it and shit, do you have difficulty finding things to talk about with like normal humans, like in real life? You do, right?
I've had that problem most of my life. I don't like to go around like flexing, but I've always been I've always been in the top tier of IQ, and during my 20s I would just drink so much that like basically I was just dumbing myself down to be around other people. And then as I got older, you get over that. So for the average person, like, we talk about the weather. I'm nice, I'm cordial, but
boring.
I mean, there's not much to talk about. Like, I love talking about my faith. I'll talk about Jesus and God and all that sort of stuff. Hey, I'm trying to help you.
At least that's something.
Right.
Yeah.
I have something to tell everybody. But yeah,
I bet that comes off. I bet that probably repulses a bunch of people too, though, because you can't talk about money, you can't talk about religion, you can't talk about your successes. How do you celebrate your success with others?
I go out and buy a really nice $150 dinner for my wife.
You have a partner that you can do it with. Yeah.
Yeah, no, my wife's awesome. So yeah, like, I celebrate with her, or I take my boys out, or I go buy them an ice cream, or And when you have the family unit, that's, to me, like, there's just no point in living, because you're just satisfying yourself. Without a family, life doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me personally. And then, so outside of the family, then, like, I might help out my church or my friends or somebody. Like, I know a bunch of people trying to start businesses. So I'll, if I had more money, which I don't right now, I'm still investing in myself. But if I had extra money, I'd be like, okay, so you're looking to fix up old cars and this and that. What are you doing? What's the business model? I would love to just give him, $100,000. Get going.
Yeah,
here you go.
That'd be cool.
And I'll take 40% of the business or 30, whatever.
Yeah.
Have some money, go do that. Or, with the church, it's like, hey, we sponsor kids to go to camp and all that sort of stuff. So that's only a couple $100. We can afford that. So, we do that. And, we just try to help everybody else out. And get them going. And like here soon, my mother-in-law, she's been an addict and a bunch of other things. She's trying to get clean. I was telling my wife, I was like, look, she tried unlifing herself not too long ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, look,
that's been happening a lot lately.
Once again, it goes back to when there's no point. If what's the goal, and you keep coming up with question mark after 20 years of don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, but so we're gonna be taking her in. We're gonna get her going with some church group, like, so she doesn't have to worry about bills.
I was gonna say, does she have faith at all?
She says she does, but I mean, you'll know them by their fruits. Right. So the answer to that is no. But like, I want her to go work with the church or my kid's school. They could use extra volunteers and help and stuff like that. So, get her kind of working. Basically, we need to pull her out of her current life, because she's just basically been mired in the same crap and hanging out with the same people and the same negative influences her whole life. And I was like, all right. And I told my wife, I was like, if you don't offer this, because she was very reticent. I was like, and something happens to your mom, you're never going to forgive yourself.
Yes, yeah.
This is us throwing out that lifeline for her. And if she takes it, great. And if she doesn't, you can at least be like, we did all we could.
Yes.
So, yeah. So anyways, my whole point is you need to have these other things outside of yourself. And what really occurred to me not too long ago was, you always hear, what does it mean to be a man, and this and that. And it just dawned on me. I'm guessing it was the Holy Spirit talking to me, but he said, person who actively looks to put more responsibility on themselves constantly, more. Give me more. Put more on my back, on my shoulders. That's what it means to be a man. We don't have enough of those in today's society.
I'm the total opposite of that. I've been doing that my entire life, and it's exhausting, dude. Holy, and it's like the amount. I told my Discord like maybe a couple of weeks in a row now. I think the amount of people that I've tried to help, and it's like. Whereas the people that are actually successful in being helped or changing or transforming, zero. Humans don't want to do it. Back to the whole existing with the least friction possible. If I see my IRL buddy gain 50 pounds in 1 year, I'm like, bro, you're gonna die of a fucking heart attack. Like, let's do something. I had this exact same conversation with Brian like 2 weeks ago. He's like, man, I change all my I cook like organic ground beef for my friends. I'm like, and he's like, their entire lives are changed after one meal. I'm like, how, man? How? I fucking work on these people. They're like, nah, I'm gonna stay fat and miserable. Nah, I'm good. Nah, it's like I just gave up. I just don't help people anymore.
Yeah. Well, and this is where you and I kind of wouldn't. It's incompatible. Because you and I have two different worldviews. We start on two different foundations. So for mine, there's an order to everything. There's a reason for things. There is actual rules. There's the actual truth. Whereas when you come from a secular point of view, everything's kind of up in the air and malleable and subjective. So
I see what you mean.
Right. So like for me, there's objective truth, and the other side of that is obviously subjective. And without there being something that's objectively good and right, people can just go, nothing's good or right. And I can see that just being kind of like the easy way out for people in that situation. Whereas if you're like, no, man, there's a purpose to your life, there's somebody out there, you don't know what that is, you should probably do better for yourself. And they're like, okay. And like, if they knew objectively that, yes, there was a purpose and a reason for them to keep going, then it's harder for them to kind of ignore that and be like, meh, I'm good. Right. So that's where
that's interesting. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, so that's the biggest thing is worldview, the worldview difference. What I find really funny is like the more I got into my faith, the more I looked into the scientific stuff. Like I said, high IQ. I'm like I'm a very logical person. I'm like you have to kind of convince me. So I'm like, okay, well, I was taught X, Y, Z. I never really looked into it. You just taught this stuff in school. As soon as you look into this, it's like, yeah, all that was debunked in the last 20 or 30 years. Oh, okay. So what do we got now? And then you look into the actual evidence and you go, okay, so we're just lying to people. Now we're just objectively lying to people constantly. And I'm like, well, that makes a lot of sense. And then
why isn't the goal of just being the best version of yourself that you can be the goal? What's wrong with that?
Because define the best version of yourself. What is best? What is good?
Not a piece of shit.
Well, define that.
Not a scammer, not fat, not unhealthy.
But why are these bad? So okay, so my favorite example.
You shouldn't harm others. You should provide value to others.
But why? Here's the thing. If I felt like killing everybody who got in my way, crushing them and subjugating everybody in my way to get everything that I could possibly ever want and dominate the world, why is that wrong? That is me living my best life.
Yeah, I own wrong. Everything. Yeah, that's true. That is how. Yeah, right. No, I feel you. Yeah, that's an interesting.
Yeah. So
point.
without objective good on one side, you just have subjective, and this is a real problem for the world in our day and age. Now, you and I, we're about the same age. I'm 40. You're 41. We grew up in a Christian society.
All right.
You're 49?
No, 39.
Well, 39. Anyways, we're the same age. Yeah, 40, 39, whatever. Yeah. So anyways, we grew up in the same world is what I'm saying. We grew up in a civilization that was still based on Judeo-Christian beliefs, which had objective right and wrong. Now, whether people believed it or not, and we injected a lot of other stuff, like I mentioned, all the nonsense that we learned at school, which is now provably wrong. Okay, that's what's warped society. And that's why when people are like, well, what's going wrong? Why can't we just go back to the 90s? The 80s and 90s were kind of a very unique period in time, and which I don't think could ever be replicated, because you can't go from a society that has a fundamental belief in truth, God, whatever, and then just throwing that out the window again. If it ever goes back, it's probably going to stay there for quite some time, I would imagine. And that was a transition period. So whenever I hear somebody's like, let's just go back to the 80s and 90s, you really can't.
You can't.
I mean, you might be able to do it in reverse a little bit. I mean, woke's kind of on the back foot. I think that was a little bit too far for society. They're like, get away from my kids, you freaky people. Yeah.
It swings always swings a little bit too far.
Right. I mean, is it going to swing back the other? I don't know. But I do think things will hopefully balance out. That's my goal. Like, hopefully things will balance out a little bit more. And I hope that the new science that we're finding, I hope this starts getting taught in schools and stuff. That was one of the things, like, we have to take our kids to private school. I have to pay extra money on top of all the taxes to go to a school where they actually teach actual things, which is so annoying. I pay a lot
not
in
things
taxes.
that they shouldn't be teaching kids what they should believe. Like let's actually teach. Yeah, okay. Hey,
math, science, right? Like that would have been fine.
That they can use, like
gym class, nutrition.
Oh,
but nutrition's now like evil. You can't teach that. Fat people have rights too, and I'm like, yes, they have the right to know why they're fat.
Yes, exactly.
And maybe we should help them. Yeah.
I have to take a mad piss. Just talk to chat for a second. I'm like, can I hold it? 1 sec.
All right. Sorry, chat. It's kind of difficult. When I was doing this with Paul, I'd have everything kind of in front of me. I've been kind of looking at the side here. But let me just see what we got going on. So I did notice we had new Doughboy in there, and we got who else was in there? Capono, I saw you in there. Excuse me, Ricardo. I just want to give you guys some shout outs. But let's see. We got my interests are super narrow, all things considered, but I know what I want and I'm striving for it. Well, I mean, having goals is a big one. Once again, like I said, there's a lot of people out there when you say, hey, what's the goal? Like, what are you trying to do? Like, do you want to get a promotion at your job? Do you want to? They will literally just come up with a question mark. Like, there is no goal for anything. And like I said, my brother is one of these people, and it's hard for me to connect with him because I'm very goal oriented. So I'm always telling him, hey, this is what I'm doing with my business. This is the new ideas. I'm trying to bounce ideas off of him. And he can give me feedback, which is great. And stuff like that. But then like I ask him, hey, what are you doing? And it's like, oh, I'm going to go to this like rock concert in this place. And I'm like, okay, well, that's kind of cool. But I'm trying to like get something deeper, bigger picture sort of stuff. And there's just nothing there. Capono, hope you're doing well. Yeah, I'm doing very well. I've been very blessed. I've I've invested a lot of money, learned lots of lessons. But yeah, I'm doing well. I'm doing well, and everything's going good. Life will not stop evolving. I mean, conditions are always changing, 100%. What's up? What's going on? That's Fake Frames Hater. What's up? Let's see. Chris, you back for good or just cameo? Just cameo. Ivan was wanting to get either Paul or me on here, and I was like, I'm free. We were going to do it. He wanted to do it last Thursday, but I was like, yeah, no, I need a little bit more time. The new gen has ChatGPT. They don't need anyone. No, I actually think that AI is going to be the best thing. Like, maybe I'm just trying to be hopeful here, but I think AI is going to be the best tool. It's going to give you guys, you watching this, you're going to have such an advantage to where you could do things that like no business could ever do before, because you would need a staff of like 12 people. Now you're not going to need all of that. It's just you. You're going to be able to just do things that just simply weren't capable before. And just like any other tool in the world, there's going to be people that lose their job and they're going to cry about, oh, but my job, and I wanted to do this thing forever. Well, sorry, that's not how this all panned out. But there's going to be I think on the flip side, there's going to be a bunch of other people going, hey, this thing will let me do this thing that I've always wanted to do, but I just couldn't afford it. So I think AI is going to be great for most people.
There's pros and cons in terms of getting like statistical data for your customer base. Yeah, that's going to be massive. So I can be like, hey, Chat GPT, find me the topic that find me the most hot topic in the hardware Reddit forums that's happening right now. Bam, video idea in 2 seconds, right? So you can do
Chat GPT, what's the best rage bait? Go.
It will literally tell you. So there's a pro and a con to that, though. The pro is you go viral because it does all the work for you. The con is
everybody does it.
No, not that. The con is the machine learning data is trained off of misinformation.
Well, yeah.
So if let's say I'm like, Chat GPT, tell me about frame chasers or something. It'll be like, there have been reports that controversial reports that he has a pyramid scheme in his Discord or something like that. So it's like, because of all the haters that I have on Reddit, the machine learning is being trained by misinformation. So it's almost more pandery. Like you have to.
Sure.
It's gonna end up being like Black Mirror, where you have like the social credit score that you have will, like, if I have a pizza shop and I don't suck every customer's dick that comes into my pizza shop, my pizza shop might have bad AI training and it won't get recommended by AI for people to come buy my pizza. Do you know what I'm saying? So there's a huge fucking problem there when it comes to real data and real information.
There's that.
The mob makes the AI kind of thing, right? The mob mentality.
Sure. Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of misinformation when you're going like that specific. But like, for example, let's just say like topic. What's the best PC tech? What's the best rage baity video? And let's say everybody's using these models to do that. They're all going to make the same video.
Yes.
Now here's the opportunity.
Yes.
Don't make that video.
Yes. Just be normal and be genuine, and you will have an audience, and it doesn't matter.
And you will grow faster because of this. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah,
yes.
you will.
So here's the thing. Once again, it's a tool. There's going to be people that will be over reliant on it. There's people that will find the right balance. Those are the people that'll be most successful, of course. And then there, like it'll come into play for most people in some regards. Like for me, it doesn't really do much for me in my business. Except for maybe if I was to do like some ads, like if I want to make some videos for ads, maybe I'll have it like go through and recolor and what, like that kind of stuff. Basically let it be the editor, but that's about as much as I really need out of it. Or I can ask it like, where's the most effective ads? Like where should I have $1,000? What's the most effective platforms to do this on in this category? Like, tools like that.
Actually, yeah, that's a good way to go about it.
Right. Yeah. Once again, it's just it's like Google, just slightly better. I think that's really it. Now it can do things like programming and artists, and there's a lot of other businesses that are in trouble. But anybody who actually uses their hands, I don't think you're going to be out of a job. In fact, I think things will actually get better for you. You will have more opportunity. So I just want to talk about that because everybody's all freaking out about AI. I'm like, yeah, it's a tool though. It's like everybody getting upset about shovels. What about all those guys digging with their hands? The shovel going to put everybody out of business. Like, it's like, well, sucks to suck. Dig more holes. I mean, what do I want to tell you?
Back to the like the IQ and relating to people and kind of all that kind of jazz. It's funny because when you start from nothing and you start growing and becoming like wealthier and like, or even just like channel wise, like let's say you start at 0 subscribers. By the time you get to 100,000 subscribers, you kind of start to look at humanity a bit differently. Just from the sheer like clickbait and like the botness of all of it, where just the other week there, and this goes back to trying to help people versus not helping people, right? So just the other week, I did. I know you don't use Twitter, but I did.
Yeah, I still don't.
Such a gold mine, dude. If you want to actually pro tip, if you want to grow your business online, first specifically what you do, Twitter is the place to be for that, for sure. Twitter is like the number one, because it's just text. You just post, I did these trades this week. It takes you like 5 seconds, and then the people that are into like retro gaming will follow you. I'm sure there's a whole different market on Twitter. Think about it. But anyway, so I did a tweet before Battlefield 6 came out, and I did a picture of the AMD CPU versus the Intel CPU, and it was in the fucking menu.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was just menu FPS. And then I was like, yeah, it gets worse.
Paul and I always joked about doing that.
Yeah.
As like an April Fool's, do benchmark menus.
I literally, and here's the thing, the FPS was identical, but I purposely took the picture when the AMD one had 7 FPS more than the Intel one. And I used that picture. So this was before the game even came out, and you weren't allowed to log into it, okay? You weren't allowed to play the game yet. Yeah. I put a thing on Twitter. I'm like, AMD CPU is the fastest in Battlefield, and that was my most viral fucking tweet. It got shared, it got liked. Everyone's like, well, of course AMD is faster. What are you talking about? I'm like, there is no way that this many people didn't look at the picture, didn't look at the FPS, didn't realize that the game isn't even fucking out yet. It was the menu. Like, there's so many. I thought I was just being a hilarious troll. No. I got
you learned something.
I learned how to make money by just spreading fucking nonsense. Like, it was such, like, it was basically an April Fool's joke how fucking dumb it was, and it went viral, right? So anyway, I do another short based off of that tweet, and the short title was I lied and got paid. That was the title.
Nice.
And that one is number 1 out of 10, and all the comment section is, well, of course you did, Joofus. Wouldn't expect more from you, Joofus. So no one even watched the short. They just clicked the title and commented. So I'm like, okay, so basically all I'm being taught here is to just go with what people believe to get paid. That's all I've been taught. And again,
and then occasionally do a 180 and then switch back around.
Yeah, exactly. So then it's like, so you wonder why there's no original ass content, because like it
gets even less views. Remember how we were talking about how YouTube gets you no money? Imagine like having a channel for like 8 years and you're still getting like 500 views a video. Like that's unfortunately what happens with most of those things.
So then how, so back to the whole helping people and all, why would you try to help like, let's say you're at 100,000 subscribers now and you're just like, AMD is the best, give me money, and they give you money. It's like, and then you're like, okay, bro, I'm gonna try to help you. Let's try to open your eyes. Exactly. You can't. And then as a result of you trying to help them, they're like, fuck you. I'm gonna
unsub.
Unsub. I'm gonna make a hate thread about you on Reddit, call you a fucking liar and a scammer, and you're all these things because you tried to
copyright strike you.
Yeah. Yep. I'm like, holy shit. Well, I guess AMD is the fucking best then, ain't they? Like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah, this was unfortunately the biggest lesson that I learned from my journey was not only do people not actually want the truth. I mean, that's pretty normal.
Dude, on that point, I feel so fucking guilty that you and Paul met me. Because if you never did...
There's no reason to be guilty about it.
No, I know, but if you never did, Paul would still be saying AMD is the best and making money. And then you guys would still be friends with Hardware Unboxed making money. And like, you would just live in this little bubble of ignorance saying what the audience wants and making money. But when you actually learned the truth, you had an ethical dilemma at that point. Do I lie to people because before you didn't do it on purpose, but when you figured out the truth,
ignorance is excusable. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So it's like,
I mean, I'm doing fine.
That's true. Yeah.
So don't feel too bad about it. I'm doing just fine. My I guess you could say profit per hour and my life work balance is quite good. So like I'm okay. I landed on my feet. Paul, from what we've heard,
though, that literally sucks that was even like,
well, that's the way that it goes though. So here's the thing, there's only one lesson that you can really if you want to help people on YouTube, it's to get them off of YouTube.
Yes,
that's all you can do. The only thing you can do is limit yourself to like 30 minutes of YouTube a day, max 30 minutes. That's it. You don't watch it while you're working. Do something else. Do anything else. Stay off the internet entirely as much as possible.
I was gonna say get them off YouTube in terms of get them inside of a Discord or a community. You
can do that too.
Yeah. When somebody's paying you like $10 a month, they're much more, because they have investment into you. They're much more likely to take your advice.
If you're looking for like actual help. I mean, yeah, well, it's hard in the PC space because there's no competition. There's really, like, if you wanted to know like what's the best car, there can be a million different videos, and if you watch like 4 or 5 of them, you're gonna get like different pieces of truth out of each of them, and you can actually form a real opinion. In this space, there's not enough options for there to be real opinions. It's either go with the flow or be out of business. So there is
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, there is no like alternative option. Maybe like an ETA Prime would be the best. This is how this works. Like, he'll just show you, this is what it does. You figure it out. This is how this thing works. You figure it out. Like, that's really the best kind of content that you could do if you genuinely need to know how a thing works. But yeah, I mean, honestly, the less time you're on the internet, that's the best advice that a YouTuber can give somebody, is be like, look, get off of social media. Like, delete your Facebook. If you're not using it for work, don't use it.
So do you think these large guys are aware that they're lying to people, or do you think that they're like maybe when you get to 1 million subscribers, you really just don't give a shit? Like, so you know how like the Mark Zuckerbergs and the Bill Gateses, and like when you're at that level, I can't we probably can't conceive of the sheer fucking stupidity that they must have seen in humanity as a whole, right? Like we probably can't even conceptualize it, right?
I don't know. Anybody who's been on YouTube for a few years, I think that's about it. Like literally that, like the example that you gave earlier about you trolling the internet. That's a life lesson that, yeah, that's definitely up there.
Well,
as
yeah,
one
sure,
of the biggest
but
ones.
like it
I don't think that what they saw would be significantly worse than that. I think that the veil of just the collective sheepishness, maybe that's the best way.
That's a good way to word it. Yeah, sheepishness.
Yeah.
But then let's say they get these, like, the Illuminati elite or whatever, they get a lot of shit for trying to control the masses in certain ways. Can you fucking blame them? Like, bro, I literally did a menu FPS and I got paid.
And once again, like, this is where things kind of come back. Yeah, like
what's the right answer here? Do you just control the masses because they're so dumb, or do you give them all free will? Well, yeah, maybe religion's probably the best kind of arrowhead towards something that's not fucking destructive.
Think of it like this. This is from Christianity. Like, a lot of people be like, well, why is there evil? Why is there bad? This literally has to exist so you can have free will. You can't have the choice to do good if there is no bad. So there literally has to be evil so you can do this. So just throwing that out there for anybody who's like, what, you know, maybe that's a question you were wrestling with. It has to exist so you can make the choice. But
I don't think that's evil though. I think so okay, is monetizing someone's ignorance evil or not? That's the question. So are you talking about scamming them? So for example, like, are you
now, like, are you getting, hey, give me $10 and I'll tell you the secrets, you know, your secrets is folder, and meanwhile it's just a notepad that says thanks for the money, bro, you know?
I forgot about that. My God, it's been so, I'm gonna make a new secrets folder right now.
The secrets.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but like, yeah, that would be wrong. Yes, because you're literally stealing this person's money.
Fuck
now,
yeah.
if it's like, are you entertaining them in the way that they want? Now, this is probably the way you want to phrase this. Are you giving them the entertainment that they want? AMD is the best, or whatever it happens to be that may not actually be true, but it's the entertainment that they want. They're not actually going to buy anything anyway. And this is where we kind of get into a bit of a gray area, is actually giving the customer what they want, which ties into your whole elites thing, is actually giving people what they want, the right answer, when what they want isn't really the best thing for them.
Coca-Cola, cigarettes, drugs. Yeah, give them what they want, right? They're like,
right.
If I'm like, yeah, if I'm like AMD is the best, technically that would be a scam on my part because I know it's not.
Right.
But even though that's what the
if you're giving
wants.
the audience what they want, are you really stealing anything from these people?
Yes, I constantly struggle with this conundrum because every single time I do content that's pro AMD, my channel pops off. And I make more money, and this and this and this and this, and I'm being shepherded and herded. It's not the algorithm, it's the audience. Okay, it's what I'm being shepherded towards a certain narrative, and it's like the planet is forcing me to believe this certain thing, right? Now, thank God that I am friends with. So here's the other side of the coin is the people that actually play Call of Duty and Battlefield and these esports games. They're only interested in winning the damn game because that's how they make money. They don't give a shit. So thank God, I have that audience that can they back me. They want to know what's the best and the truth, and they back me. But that doesn't make the channel grow.
Because they're not there for entertainment. They're there to actually learn.
So the problem is when those people get their answer, they don't watch TechTube.
No,
they got their answer. Like, Jufus, what's the answer? I'm good. See you the next product launch or whatever. And then my channel is. But when you farm the AMD bros, it's constant. It's like this, right? So you have
to so it sounds like the big question is you're asking me what would be my suggestion to move forward. I think that's kind of where you're alluding to on this.
What the question I want to ask is, well, if you were in my shoes, is it evil or is it ethically wrong to just say AMD is the best to grow the channel, knowing that it is ethically wrong, I suppose?
It is, because you know it's not true. To say something that is wrong, that you know is verifiably wrong, is
so then how do you
say?
Okay,
so wait, I already gave you the answer.
No, wait.
I already gave you the answer. It's the ETA Prime model. Show the AMD product. Go, this is what it does. Look at the AM. Do not do the comparison. NVIDIA does whatever. It does not. Intel does not need to be a part of this conversation at all. This is what this thing does. If you want to compare it to anything, compare it to the old thing that it's replacing. That's the only comparison.
I've thought about that too, actually. That was the usually the videos that are like 7950X versus 9950X, those also do very well, and it's just AMD versus AMD, right? You're not wrong. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah. So what you do is you do that, and then you do the same benchmarks for Intel or NVIDIA or whatever. And if people want to know the truth, you are providing the answers. They have to go to 2 videos. Number one, you're getting 2 clicks. They have to go to both. They have to go to both videos. They have the amalgamated information. They have to sit down and actually, most people got dual monitors anyway. So, whatever. Have both videos up. They can do it themselves. You're alienating nobody. You are being honest. You are telling the truth.
Fantastic suggestion. That's fantastic.
And you get to double dip. Now, if you want for the Discord members, you throw them a chart with everything. Go, here you go. I mean, you could do that too.
That's a good, so in my Battlefield video, I did Intel versus AMD, right? But I could have done how AMD performs in this game, then another video the next day, how does Intel perform in this game, and separate them. Then I get two viral videos out of it. That's a good idea. And it's
never do they need to meet. Never do those need to go overlap. And you'll get people all the time, do this, do that. Ignore those people.
Yeah.
And go, look, I did the data. Just watch these just link 2 videos. Here it is. You figure it out. Like, there it is. You decide.
So let's say that doesn't work for some reason, even though it would. That I'm 100% gonna fucking do that now. What a good idea. But like, let's say that doesn't work, and you have to do the verses or whatever, right? How do you choose between feeding your family, knowing that the masses are retarded, or not feeding your family? Like, if I had to make a decision between, like, I'll just tell you guys AMD is the best so that I can eat, right?
All right. So if you don't want to lie, here's the other way to do it. Number one, just do like 1 versus a year, maybe twice a year. So you do very few of these. And then what you do, excuse me, you do stock versus stock. So you just like handicap the Intel thing with some crap RAM with some junk XMP timings. And then the X3D kicks its ass.
That's a good
idea. And
then
then the tune system on the Intel wins. So AMD gets the win, Intel gets the win. You're not lying to anybody. Everybody gets to go, but out of the box, everybody, they could fight all they want in the comments. Everybody gets a win. You're not lying. And there you go.
I wonder, it's something that I would have to test, because the Battlefield video did so well because I did AMD versus Intel. It's so funny, man. You can see me struggling with this while I do the videos too, because I'm like Intel has 10 FPS more, but AMD pulls way less power, so we're all winners. And then in the comment section, we're like, people are like, thanks, Dad, we're all winners. I'm just trying to not offend the AMD bros while telling the truth, right?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you do just
test that option, though.
Do crappy stock versus stock, like XMP 6400, just junk, the AMD chip will win. And you can be like, for just out of the box, the AMD chip, and just parrot, like, that's not wrong. That's literally that is their selling point. So just reinforce their selling point. That is true. Now, if you want the absolute best, like if you're making money, you're going to want the tuned Intel thing. If you don't want to deal with tuning your Intel thing, here's my link. You could buy it right here. And then you're monetizing the few people that want to hear that, but you're giving everybody else what they really want. So you're basically checking all the boxes without lying. You're not being deceptive. You are showing the truth. And
I got another good one for you, actually. Okay. What about, this is kind of an old school tactic. Not a tactic. This is kind of like an old school, remember how like they used to do sponsored titles like Nvidia and AMD? Yeah. Like Tomb Raider is a Nvidia sponsored title, and that one just always seemed to do better with the what do they call it? What is it where the rocks pop out? What feature was that?
Tessellation.
That's it. Yeah, where like Nvidia paid developers to tessellate like shit under the map or whatever. Like
just because their cards are better at it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So what if I was thinking about testing this as well, where cherry picking, that's the term. Cherry picking certain titles to make AMD look the best and making a video out of that, because technically you're not lying as well. And you're giving the audience what they want.
But you know what you're doing is wrong, otherwise you wouldn't be asking me. So
no, this is just I like to just shoot the shit. I wouldn't bother with
that
shit.
Well, my whole thing would be, well, personally, I like to have, when I was doing all the benchmarks, I like to have like a set suite, so this way you can kind of just, and people can jump between videos and kind of look and amalgamate information as they so choose. So I would actually recommend doing that instead. But if you want to maybe balance it out a little bit, maybe have 4 AMD sponsored games, 4 Nvidia sponsored games, or whatever, and kind of balance it out that way, that would make sense. I think that'd be fine.
I usually I don't even do those games. I don't even do those videos anymore. Usually I just do like whenever the new game that comes out, I'll just do the one game. I don't even like show people my specs anymore. I don't even show people like what overclocks they're running. People, one of the most comments that I got in my last video was like, can somebody just give me the answer? I don't want to watch all this. Like shorts and TikTok and like just like 10-second brain is like the new thing, man. People just like, I don't know.
Well, why do you think a lot of videos, especially like influencers, what they'll usually do is the beginning of the video is usually buy, this is the best, and then they'll explain why. The rest of the video is them explaining why. It's because of that. Unfortunately, there's no helping those people. They've destroyed their brains with too much social media. But you can take advantage of that by going, buy. Links down below. Okay, for everybody else with an attention span, let's continue.
So back to the question then, do you think these larger guys are doing it on purpose? With the misinformation?
Oh, yeah, they have to know what they're doing. They have to be wrestling with the same. Yeah, they have to. Now, I would imagine somebody like Linus, he's so big, he has writers, so he probably doesn't know. He just doesn't care.
I don't think he knows,
He'll get the charts and he'll look at it and go, okay, and then he'll form his opinion, basically like what you or I would do if we went and took a look at something. We'd just be like, okay, what's the numbers? All right, and then you just kind of spit it out. Like, he doesn't need to do all the testing and the nitty-gritty. Now, like for the smaller big guys, like the GNs, the Js, and the hubs, the guys that are they're still involved.
Yeah.
They have to know. They have to know what they're doing. They have to know what their market is, and they have to realize that they're stuck in a box. So yes, they have to know what's going on.
So you think they pigeonholed themselves, and they're just kind of like they have that decision between feeding their family or starving. I think so too, man. Honestly, I think you're right.
Yeah, because they would have, you know, how many channels that figured it out? There were other channels that did not go along with this, but how many tech channels died over the last decade just because
all of them, yeah.
Pretty much all of, right. So pretty much everybody who was even halfway honest is gone. So this had to be a conscious decision. Now, once again, the rationale would be is most people just do the out of the box. This is what Hub, you know, like when I was getting into it with him, this is what most people use. It's like, and that's fine. I didn't have any problems with him showing that data, just like I recommended to you, put that data in. But if you wanted to show for the people, like real PC enthusiasts, like I'm back from the day when spending all day in the BIOS was normal. You buy a new thing.
Hub is a special. He's a him. I know 100% he's doing it on purpose. Did you watch the one Brian went after him for this one too, where he's like AMD fine wine, and he showed like 30% improvement on the like. Long story short, he made a video saying the 9070 XT was 30% faster from launch to now.
Which would be really cool if that were true.
It's physically fucking impossible for a driver to do 30. It's physically, okay? It ended up just being his Windows install was completely fucked up. That's what it was.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, if anybody could screw up their graphics card launch that bad, it's AMD. I believe AMD could have screwed up that bad. I 100% would believe AMD could screw up that bad. But in reality, the card would have just been complete trash from day one.
But if 30%, it would have been like the game crashing. Not there's like the architecture is the architecture. It wouldn't have been like a 30% boost. That's why
I've seen so many quirky problems with AMD hardware that it wouldn't shock me if like it just didn't render certain things or half the GPU was just idle because the drivers don't know how to section things off and properly process. It's entirely possible for AMD to do that.
No, so here's the thing, New Doughboy. New Doughboy just said he got crucified for that video. No, see, I disagree, man. Look at this cool feature I got here. So if I click on his chat, I can bring it up.
That's really neat.
I know, only for the podcast.
I wish we had that. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I was gonna say was I don't think when he posted that video, every single news media outlet shared it as AMD being fine wine. Every WCCF Tech, video cards, Tom's Hardware, fucking and I literally replied to every single one. You're spreading misinformation. Go test it yourself. You're spreading misinformation. Go test it yourself. Yeah, okay. At 2 days later, every tech tuber is like, okay, Hub clearly fucked this one up. But you don't see the articles sharing that he fucked it up.
Nope.
No.
You don't see GN doing one of those investigative videos.
Yeah, exactly. You don't see any other of the large tech tubers being like, remember the one where he not to turn this into a Hub shit fest, but like remember the one.
It's just an easy example.
It's just no. His is what like Hub is. I like GN and Jay and all those other guys. I can be like, maybe they're ignorant, like truly maybe, but Hub, right. He 100% does that shit on purpose. Even the way he clickbaits his videos to spread the misinformation is 100% deliberate. When the one where he's like, this new Windows beta increases AMD, it's always seems to increase AMD performance. If you like this new AMD, this new Windows 11 scheduler increases performance by 30%, right. Which is fucking impossible. It's impossible.
But here's the thing: does it get them clicks? And the answer to that is
exactly.
Yes. And
yes, and it gets shares, and it gets Reddit. Mm-hmm. And I have to look. I have to look at this every single day and be like, this guy is being paid to lie to people on fucking mass, dude. And he gets rewarded for it. He gets glorified for it. He gets fucking and then what it makes you realize that like when Nvidia sees this shit, they're like, so here's the thing. if I was Nvidia and Intel, this guy would have been blacklisted a long time ago, dude. Blacklisted. Yes. Like it's fucking ridiculous. It's not even about like objective reviewing samples anymore. It's like, if we give him anything, he's just gonna shit on us and spread misinformation and be rewarded for it. It's asinine, dude. What's actually going on out there? And it's like,
it makes very little sense for them to keep sending samples to just get crapped on all the time.
That never made sense to me.
Unless maybe, I mean, let's be honest, for Nvidia, they just don't care.
Why do it?
Well, here's the thing. He's on the mailing list. His impact to Nvidia is so low that removing him from just the mailing list is probably more effort than it's worth, to be perfectly honest with you. The literal time it would take for them to go, let's delete this guy, is probably more. It probably just isn't even worth their time, to be perfectly honest.
They tried, though. They tried. Remember when Linus stepped in?
They did a while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. But see, the thing is Nvidia's kind of moved on from there. So they should have probably just gotten rid of all of them. Remember when they're all like, Nvidia, if you do this, take my samples away. They should. I mean,
they're still doing it.
They really should have.
Dude, they're still doing it.
Which is I don't know why.
I talked to like my Nvidia reps behind the scenes a little bit. I'm like, guys, you knew that if you sent them all 5090s, you knew that they would just bitch about the 16-pin connector and just say, oh my God, everything's melting. Your house is going to burn down. I hope you have house insurance. Like, you knew that was going to happen. Or like go give it to like Tim the Tat Man and like whatever these other fucking streamers. Like, go give it to streamers. Don't give it to TechTuber. If you know there's a certain narrative in the TechTuber sphere, what the hell are you doing giving these people free graphics cards? That doesn't make any sense. To me, it doesn't make any sense.
It might just be the any marketing, like it's just cheaper than like actually reaching their audience with other things. I don't know. It all comes down to cost benefit. Like, how much does it actually cost for Nvidia to produce a 5090? Maybe, what
even
are they,
with
like $3,000?
Press.
Yeah, but like, how much does it really cost? A couple $1,000. Advertising is expensive, guys. So if they're spending, let's say they're just flushing $200,000 in graphics cards down the drain, but how many eyeballs are they getting for that? When, even if it is in a negative light, they're just doing the math going, it's too many eyeballs per dollar is probably what's happening. And that would be the only thing that makes any sense. But in reality, these channels are so small that I don't know why give it to an ETA Prime or the various other channels that are similar to him. That'd be far more productive and just cut these guys out. Linus would be the only one I would send to, because he's actually also more objective than the other guys, because he doesn't give a crap because he is a multimillionaire.
Yeah, he's interesting because he doesn't his is interesting because he doesn't care, but because he doesn't care, his employees push the narrative, and then he just reads it. So he's complicit in his own not giving a shitness in a certain way.
I mean, to a certain degree, but sometimes he gets snapped into. Like, I've seen him recognize, when something's a little bit off, or like if everybody calls him out on something, he'll at least come out and address it and go, yeah, we were wrong. This was the data. This is what came on the sheet. I read the script. Do you remember? I Ron Burgundied this one. That's basically what the meme should be. He should just be like, I Ron Burgundied this one, and let's move on.
Do you remember when the 9900K, it was 9900K versus 2700X or something like that back then, I think it was, or 3700X?
1700, I think.
No, 1700. No, 2700.
10900, I think, was against the Zen 2.
Yes, you're right. Yeah.
Anyways, one of them.
Regardless. Yeah. Tech Potato, whatever his name is, Ian Cuttress, him and Tech Deals were the only two guys that were like, guys, the 9900K is infinitely faster than Ryzen is. And like every other tech channel was like, you get the same amount of cores for less money, like spinning the AMD narrative. And if you actually go and ask Ian now, he said that every publication shamed him. All the other tech tubers, all the media, they shamed him into changing his answer, and he did. So he went back after the fact and changed it to 2700X was better. And he says that like his testing was wrong, or he like copped out on it. You have to go back and look at it. So even a guy as like morally altruistic as that got socially shamed into saying AMD is the best. Yeah.
This is what it comes down to. These people are so poor. I mean, I don't. Wild. I mean, the amount of work that these guys put in, like just hours, their dollars per hour, whatever currency they happen to be in, is so low that the plumber that I referenced earlier is literally a king to these people. Like so, these people are not making $100+ an hour.
Here's the question. So if they're that poor, why do they? So this actually not just tech tubers, but like you see a lot of these streamers that will be live for 10 to 12 hours and not get any donations at all. Why do they refuse to do anything but what they're doing to not make money? Like, what the hell is that?
Part of it is a passion. So like you can definitely tell that Hub's at least passionate running benchmarks. Like he obviously loves doing this. That's why he's the only one that runs all of those benchmarks, which is also the only reason why anybody watches him, because he's the only one who does this thing. Because he's the only person on the planet who would put themselves through this forever, constantly. So he obviously really enjoys it. He obviously enjoys the tech and whatever. So there's the joy factor. So for a lot of people, when you do a job, even if it is like, to me, that would just be like literal hell benchmarking that much. But for him, he obviously enjoys it. Maybe what I do is literal hell for other people, but I enjoy what I do. So it doesn't really feel like work. So I'm assuming that's a big part of it. I'm assuming the money is good enough to where it makes sense. Like, obviously, they can afford their mortgages. They got food, kids, and everything are kind of squared away. Like, there's enough money there. And I'm betting they're probably socking enough away in the 401k or whatever to, like, they're doing okay. Let's say they're probably doing above average. But just for the amount of time and effort and just sheer headaches that these people put up with, I would say that they're horribly undercompensated. But and this is the reason why most people can't do it in this space, because it's just
they literally can't
like literally you can go do anything. Either your stress will be way lower and your pay will be lower, but like your stress to pay ratio will be a lot better, or you can make a lot more money with similar stress. So I just don't think a lot of people are willing to put themselves through it for long periods of time. So it's just kind of like by default, these guys are left.
So basically just spread misinformation then, and just so you can maintain. That's kind of sad, I suppose.
It is. Like, I feel bad for, I feel really bad for these guys, because I would imagine that they all started off with the best intentions, and they were probably genuinely honest and everything. And the tech industry was vibrant enough that they could do this, like, as a real job. There was enough technology coming out, and they could be genuine, and people were okay with actually knowing things. People changed, social media took over, and it became very tribal. And the narrative, like you said, they forced everybody down to the AMD is bestest approach. Why, I don't know. Without money changing hands, I don't know why they would do this. It doesn't make any sense unless it was like, here's $100,000. That's what
I thought too. Yeah, they're grossly undervaluing their. So yeah, that's a whole other point too. They're like, are they being like? I guess that I wouldn't say they're probably being paid, but why? Why spread misinformation for so little money?
That's for no money. Why spread it for that? That's the ultimate question. If GN wants to do an investigative video, that's what they should do. Like, why would people basically sell their channel out for no money?
Yeah,
right? Like, would you sell your business for no cash? Like, who does that?
Like that, they're eventually their channels are gonna die off. I think what's gonna start. It's like a bug. I think how that's gonna start is they're gonna get blacklisted from Intel and Nvidia eventually. I think that's a complete inevitability.
It should be.
I think Nvidia, as long as they have Daddy Linus protecting them, but I think that's gonna come to an end as well. I think this, with the whole 5090 thing that just happened, every single review of the 5090 was negative. It's too power hungry, not enough FPS over the 4090. The connector melts. It's not load balanced. There's literally just another one where like a Zotac card burned on Battlefield, just etc. It was like one of this launch of the 5000 series was one of the worst launches ever.
Yeah,
and yet sold out. Still over MSRP. The 5080 is still $1,500. Everything's sold out.
Right.
So I think after this generation, Nvidia saw that no matter what the hell we release, it's gonna sell out. We don't need to give these people cards. Now I think.
Well, I would imagine that happened after 40 series, but I don't know. Maybe they give them the benefit of the doubt. I don't know. Maybe it's just this is the way it's always been, or maybe, like I said, they have a number. This is how many eyeballs we get for how much money, and that's just that math just makes sense to them. Regardless of what they say, these people get to see our products for whatever. It's like, how many billboards do you need to put up to get that many eyeballs, and how much would that cost? Probably a lot more.
You know what? That's true, because a lot of people buy my services because of hate threads on Reddit. But it's like that's how they find me. They just they saw a hate thread about me, and then they're like, I'm gonna check this guy out, and then they just like the cut of my jib. So maybe it really is no press is bad press. Maybe it really is just that simple. That seems crazy to me though, because it's like,
it kind of is, as long as there's no major underlying fault. That's why when you hear everybody freaking out about these meltings or whatever, it has to be so infrequent because it hasn't hurt Nvidia at all. It hasn't hurt their sales at all. So if it happens to 1%, it's an irrelevant amount or whatever it is, 0.1%. It's too little to matter. Now, if it was 10%, that would be a real problem. That would hurt Nvidia. So here's the thing: if Nvidia has a real issue on their hands, they will address it.
True.
Now, if it's not it's not a real issue, Nvidia is not going to care.
I guess I look at it from the perspective of a person. On no planet would I give a product to somebody just to shit talk me. That seems crazy.
Counterproductive.
But yeah. But as a corporation without a personality, it's just math, maybe, I suppose. And it's
it really is.
Yeah, nobody's if I was Jensen, I'd be getting offended though. I'd be like, these ungrateful fucks. But I guess Jensen even doesn't care. Maybe Jensen doesn't even know their names, right?
Well, remember we were talking about Bill Gates. Jensen's Bill Gates level.
Yeah, fair.
So
yeah, maybe it's just free farm to him. Yeah.
Does he really care? He could. I can see Jensen at this point just putting out a GPU that legit explodes, or it has an actual grill, you can put down a George Foreman grill, just to troll people. Because he's like, look, don't care, most valuable company on earth, suck it, jabroni. What do you want? I don't. I value your business, but I don't need you. Let's be real. You need me more than I need you. We're at this point. You have to understand that. And he does. And Jensen's, out of all the people at that Bill Gates, crazy Jeff Bezos insane level, he's the most normal.
I totally agree with that. He's the most non-batshit, it seems like. He's just a really hard worker and a grinder. He just fucking grinds. That's what that guy does.
Yeah, he still goes to work. The dude still goes on stage.
Yeah.
The dude does not need to do any of this. He could have retired many, many moons ago. He could have sold the company, sold all of his shares. He could have sailed into the sunset long ago, but once again, he has to love it. So, I don't think he cares that much about the ground level. Once again, I think it is just math. I'm sure that conversation came up. Okay, so how many units are we sending out for review? 2,000 units, whatever. How much does that cost us? Okay. How many views do we expect to get off of this? How many sales do we expect to get off of those views? Okay. If the math checks out, what does he care?
Do you ever think you're going to come back to TechTube at all?
No, because like literally, this is all it is. It's basically just breaking down simple business economics for things and just calling,
yeah, literally nothing has changed, has it, since you stopped? Not a single thing.
No, and like I said, it's going to get worse because the technology, it's just not advancing anymore. The 40 series was the last great graphics card generation we will ever get.
Yeah.
We'll never get another graphics card jump like that ever again in the history of technology. It's done.
Only because it went from Samsung to TSMC.
Basically, they're on the same node for 3 generations. That's the main reason why it looks so good. That and they could still compete with AMD by staying on effectively the same node for 3 generations is very sad. But in reality, they're not going to be able to just stay on TSMC 4 for like 60 series or 6,000 series and 7,000 series. And then 8,000 series, we get a new node finally. I mean, if they did, sure, but the AI guys aren't going to allow that. They're going to want that 10-15%, and Nvidia is going to need that to continue to sell hardware. So they're going to need the new shiny thing for those guys, and that's just going to drag everybody else along. But it's going to be real small. You're basically going to get CPU upgrades in GPUs. Like percentage wise, what's a big CPU upgrade? 10-15%. That's what you're going to get in GPUs moving forward.
CPU upgrades haven't even done anything since like the 13900K. Literally.
Yeah, because clocks jumped. Yeah. Well, Intel also kind of going off into the woods, and I mean, I understand what they're doing. They're trying to get into the mass appeal. They're trying to target the low profile, the handheld sort of stuff, stick with laptop and enterprise. Basically, they want the consumable products and they want enterprise. They're getting rid of performance. It makes logical sense. It is not a segment that makes any sense, really. Like I said, except for Nvidia Nvidia at the high end. $3,000 to $5,000 graphics cards. That makes sense. We can sell that. That makes sense. Without that, let's say that market disappeared, I would assume Nvidia just wouldn't even bother. They would just sell cheaper Quadros or whatever. They would sell.
What do you think is going to happen to tech channels going forward then?
There's just not going to be enough content. So you're going to get more and more drama. You're going to get more and more nitpickiness.
It's kind of already happening a little bit, isn't it? Yeah.
It's actually pretty bad when you look at it from the outside because it's just basically backstabbing and drama and I mean, Jay can only flip between AMD and Intel so many times before people get tired of that.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Like there's only so much of that'll work. So they're really just skating on the last little bit of it. So the smart channels are going to pivot. They're not going to be review channels, which is probably going to kill all the big ones. Smaller channels that might still be able to pivot into something else. Like I said, handhelds is a good one.
It's something I definitely need to keep my mind on as I go forward here, because I think you're right. Yeah.
First off, Steam OS. Forget Windows. Just jettison that crap. The future is Steam OS. If you can optimize Steam OS for these ROG allies and that sort of stuff, if you can get better battery life or better performance and or both somehow, because it has like performance profiles built in.
Yeah.
That's all anybody uses. But if you can be like, look, I can get you an extra hour of battery life. You do X, Y, and Z. That'll get you 100 million views. Easy. That's a 100 million view video right there. Just one extra hour of battery life. No extra performance. Yeah. That will dwarf all of TechTube combined.
I didn't know handhelds were that popular.
Yes, handhelds it's the future. There's no point in desktop anymore. Ultra high end.
It's crazy. I have no interest in handhelds at all. That's weird.
I'm telling you, man, that's the future. And go with the ARM based ones, the little cheap ones from China. Like that's a big thing right now. That's doing pretty well. If you want to stay in tech, like I said, if you want to keep in the optimization range, there's lots that can be done on these.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. Well, no, I think I would stay more towards the high end, obviously, just because those guys, like Call of Duty is still gonna Call of Duty, and like Battlefield is still going to Battlefield. I think I'm okay there on that part of it. But
you've kind of carved out your own niche where you just need to stay in your niche. Try not to expand too much. You need to bring a few people in because some people will obviously leave.
Yeah.
You just need to scoop them up as they come, but basically have your own walled garden. Be like, this is what we do here. Like I said, you can redo the videos. Yeah, you can redo the videos a little bit where you have just the AMD stuff, then the Intel stuff, and if you don't want to offend anybody, or you can just offend everybody and just go, no, suck it, jabroni, and that's just the way you do things, which is what your channel is kind of known for.
Now tying it all together, I think the reason why it seems more AMD is the best, gets you most clicks. I think now that I think about it, I think people really are just there's nothing to talk about, and people are just bored. So it's like people are almost purposely picking fights about shit that doesn't matter. Like, I'm talking about the audience here, purposely picking fights about shit that doesn't matter just to we got a super chat, just to not let their hobby die, it seems like.
Correct. Yeah, that's what it is. The hobby is dead. It is dead. It, like I said, 40 series ended it. It was that was the end of PC gaming as we used to know it. Now it's going into a trend. Like I said, GPUs will be like CPUs. Small, maybe even single-digit performance increases will constitute a new generation moving forward. And just is what it is, guys.
So
the technology just is not there. Or the generations need to become very, like 5 to 10 years to where the technology is there. And then they can come out with a new thing.
I'm interested to see the... So here's the thing. Oh, we got KGeeks with $20. Thanks so much, dude. I'll send that over to Chris after. We got hey Chris, do you own a Steam Deck or similar handheld? Oh, you got an Ally. That's an Ally, right?
Yep.
That looks clean.
It's pretty sweet. And Best Buy had them on sale for $499. So I was like, yeah, we'll finally pick one up. I've messed with them through the business. Yeah, it's really neat. I've been putting it through its paces, and the reason why I'm saying SteamOS is the future is because, like, legit, we're at the point now there's no shader caching stutters at all, and the performance is higher on Steam OS than Windows now. We're actually at that point because they fix all the AMD nonsense. So under Linux, AMD makes sense because the community has fixed their nonsense.
Fair enough. Yeah, no kidding.
So yeah, but like this little guy here, like, that's the only desktop you need. You can take it with you. You play it as you go. You get docking stations. Like for me, I'd have one here, one in the living room. You can just take it wherever you are, and you always have it with you. Like, this makes a lot more sense. It's got 8 cores, 16 threads. So like, it does all the processing stuff that you really need. Really what it just comes down to is you're not playing the big AAA games. Cool. I'll play them 10 years from now when they're like $4, and the device at the time will play it just fine. So it's like, you just don't play the new thing, and problem solved.
Do you think that, so let's say tech tubers are going to keep kind of doing the CPU flipping drama thing that Jay does, wouldn't there be a core audience of like whatever 200,000 viewers that will just keep watching that content and getting mad about it because they don't want to let their hobby die? Like are what we seeing right now is this entire industry of people not wanting their hobby to die? And how long would that last for?
I mean, it'll be different for everybody. Like look, how long did it take for me to basically kill Paul's channel? Like, it took like a year or two of me basically just talking sense to him. And once he realized, like, this, number one, it doesn't matter at all.
I want to talk about Paul actually for a little bit before we call the stream here. Let me take one more piss, but I do want to cover Paul. I drank this entire it's like liters of water. Give me a sec.
Yeah, it looks like he's recycling his own urine. But yeah, anyways, let me check out what you guys got going on. Sorry, it's like I said, just this setup's a lot more difficult for me to look at these. Multiplayer games still don't work on Linux, right? Yeah, anything with anti-cheat. But once again, like, you shouldn't be playing that crap anyway. Multiplayer games that require like anti-cheat and all the rest of that, competitive multiplayer, personally, I just wouldn't recommend doing it. It's an addictive. there's a lot of money poured into addicting you to crap. You're better off just not playing those. And if you want to play multiplayer, do local split screen. If it doesn't have local split screen, you're doing single player or, you know, some sort of co-op. I would not recommend any multiplayer games ever, unless you're doing it for money. If you make money on it, go for it. Paul was really sick. Hope he got better. Yes, he did get better. I do know that. But yeah, he just kind of walked off. We'll talk about it here in a minute. But yeah, from what I've heard, he's doing well, and that's great. I'm really happy for him. Let's see. You could be okay with 16 cores, 16 thread, though the E-cores won't hurt anything. I think you're talking about the Intel stuff. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It's fine. The average person just needs an 8-core CPU. 8-core, 8-thread, still fine for games. Shit, you can still play most games with 4-core, 8-thread CPUs. You just have to, you know, have it tuned in. Let's see, keeping my 4900K for a while. To be honest, like, you could probably just keep that forever. It's probably going to be the last monolithic CPU, so it will eventually have some value to it, I would imagine. Let's see. You need good ping as well for multiplayer. Only like I said, only if you really care about winning. Like, you should play for fun. Don't play to win. Man. If the game isn't fun, don't play it. Talk about competitive multiplayer. I personally don't recommend it, but because of all the billions of dollars these companies funnel into psychologists to addict you to crap, probably not the best idea in the world.
No, I'm going to respond to Rems here. No, I think it's kind of Rems said that isn't the majority of people that buy AMD are more interested in AMD. It's kind of a self-feeding like cycle of life where the people that watch TechTube are constantly being told to buy AMD, thus they buy AMD, but their hobby is watching TechTube.
Correct.
So yeah, so then they get fed anything they see that tells them that they bought the wrong thing is a big no-no. But they don't know that their hobby is watching TechTube, not the hardware. Right. Because they don't. But then people that actually watch TechTube to achieve a goal, like let's say play Battlefield, they just watch once and get the fuck out. Right?
Right. And that's the person that Jufus and I get mad about, because that person will watch a video, get the wrong information, and go, this game is crap, it's poor optimization, or whatever.
Always the game's fault. Always the game's fault.
To be fair, a lot of it nowadays is the game's fault, but it could be better than... Anyways, it's partially their fault. And it's not really so much their fault. It's the person that gave them the wrong information.
Because they have high subscriber counts. So
right.
They have the de facto... yeah, that's the... Anyway, so yeah, Paul, let's talk about Paul before we close this up. So yeah, he deleted his channel by accident. Do you know that?
Oh, I didn't know he did it by accident. I thought he was just like, I'm done with this.
No.
That's a good way to rip the Band-Aid off. It's like, we're just done.
No, he was transferring this channel to me. In his defense, it is complicated transferring a YouTube channel to another person.
I had to transfer to Paul so he could give it to you. Yeah.
What the hell? Oh my god. So anyway, I don't know how he did it. I don't know how the hell he did it. He like transferred ownership of his main channel to a phantom account or something to make the Techonomics his main account. Something like that. Yeah, something like that.
Oh,
and then he tried to get it back. He like emailed I tried to help him. I'm like, here, because I get emails from like the Creator Academy, and I have like some YouTube rep that never responds to emails.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm like, here, try contacting this guy, blah blah blah. Couldn't get his channel back. That's another thing about being a tech tuber and not having a business outside of YouTube, is what happens when your channel is gone, right?
Right.
Yeah, not smart. So
right. Well, it's just like why I don't sell on Amazon. Amazon just kicks people off their platform all the time. And if all your money comes from selling on Amazon, they could just take away your business without telling you why. It's the same sort of thing. Yeah, relying on somebody 100%.
Yeah. You do not want to be reliant on a platform, right? But and for Paul though, I think I'm not sure if it was for the best or if he was so upset about it. You know what? I don't think he was though, because he's the last I talked to him, he's like, I'll try and get it back, but if it doesn't, I'll just start a new channel. Like he's just like didn't seem like he gave a shit really. Yeah.
Well, I mean, eventually it gets to the point where like you accumulate like a certain audience. Like as you found out trying to purge this one. Like
God. Yeah.
They expect certain things. And then when you don't give them what they want, your channel suffers. So in YouTube world, it is much easier to just start a new one and then let like the good viewers know and be like, hey, we're over here now. And then, just kind of curate a whole new audience. It is a lot better doing it that way.
Dude, oh my God. Yeah. When I started this, before I went live for the first time on this channel, I told my Discord, I'm like, guys, the chat is going to be a ban fest for about 3 weeks. And then I was telling them the reason it wasn't just the AMD bros, but like Paul was always so scared to ban people that would give him like $5 even if they were toxic, because that was his literal only source of money. So it cultivated this. You know what? I bet you that's a problem in a lot of, actually, Buildzoid's fucking the same thing. All the XOC discords are like that too, where they're so broke, they rely on samples so much that if you ever go into those discords, it's a complete fucking shit fest of like people just talking mad shit to each other constantly and like trying to like dick measure their I know more than you. I have this BIOS because I'm special and you're not. It's the most toxic.
My favorite one I ever read was I programmed my own BIOS. I was like, that takes a special kind of crazy. I'm like,
which is
hopefully you get paid. Hopefully you get paid to do this.
Yeah, which is probably impossible, right? But
I have no idea.
No, and it was like you have to when you. For some reason, I did this naturally. Thank God. I had zero tolerance for abuse, man. Fucking zero. And the amount of people that I had to ban off of this channel from Paul's community after was at least like 20 or 30 dudes, man. At least. I'm like, no wonder Paul quit, guys. Come on. Like, no wonder. What did you think? That it was worth taking abuse for $5? Paul was your fucking punching bag. You wonder why he quit. Come on now, okay?
And I mean, and that's, once again, this kind of sums up like most of our conversation here today. Is like, that's what YouTube is the amount of money that you make is so low that you just have to get punched in the face. Now, eventually what will happen to most people is they'll get punched in the face and then look at the paycheck and go, not worth it anymore. And this will happen to pretty much everybody who doesn't rise above it. Like I said, like a Linus is in a good position because he's just going to end up selling his company at some point, and he's going to ride off into the sunset.
Yeah,
he's done. Hopefully his employees have a job, whatever. He's not going to fire them. He's just going to walk away and he's going to be done with it. And that's just the way that he's going to go. But for these other guys, they're not in a position where anybody's going to buy it. If they are, it's not going to be for much. So it's definitely not their 401k. So I'm hoping that these guys do have some good financial planning and some savings and whatnot, because it's not something that a lot of people think about when they're in their 20s and 30s. But yeah, that's just what's going to happen. So it's going to happen to every YouTuber. You're going to get punched in the face one time and look at the paycheck and go, nope.
So two questions for you then. When was the last time you talked to Paul? What? We somehow need to get, or I somehow need to get these people that are the punchers of the punching bag to try and make their own channels so they can see what it feels like.
No, these people are smart. These people are smart enough to know that they don't want to get punched in the face like that, so they're not going to make their own channels.
Yeah, most people won't. Just for that, I think a lot of people cannot take the sheer level of abuse required to be on social media. You were always kind of okay with that though? You were kind of immune to the fucking idiots. Like you never really let it bug you.
No, other people's opinions have never bothered me. Like what you think is what you think. That's fine. Like I don't care. I'll make my case and then I'm done.
It did affect
sometimes
Paul though, right?
Yeah, I mean it would affect me when it would seem like maybe I meant to like communicate a point and it didn't come through clearly enough. That's what would bother me is me failing to communicate properly. And it took a long time to, kind of like Jordan Peterson myself and sit there and think before I speak on like almost everything, because on YouTube you have to think about literally everything. But yeah, like Paul was a little bit more emotional, which was part of his channel. Like that's what did well. And yeah, I think it got to him a little bit more, but he had a lot of health issues. There were just a lot of things going on. And for him, he was taking punches that I wouldn't have taken. Like he was getting beat up. Basically, he was like the guy on the ground just taking punches because he needed the $5. Right? It's like the
I feel so bad for that guy, man. Fuck.
Luckily, he did have some really super supporters, and some of you guys are in here, and you guys are awesome, and God bless you guys and everybody who helped out Paul and me. By the way, you guys, thank you so much for all of that and continuing to support Ivan and everybody. With you guys, you can take more punches with more people that do that. And I want to give a shout out to My Little Pony. Everybody knows Pony. That dude let us take more punches than anybody by far. So if he's watching this, thank you. He still messages.
He's around. Yeah, he's around. Yeah, he's still around. Yep.
Yeah. So he's a good guy, and he started doing what I was doing. Like he was trying it out. He had a little fun with it. I was like, it's a good little side gig if you have some free time. But he can work overtime and make big money, so he would rather do that.
So I was like, when was the last time you talked to Paul? Then do you have any updates on him at all? Or?
It was a little bit after we stopped the podcast. It was like a couple of months, and it was like, hey, we should have a chat. And I was like, okay, yeah. Like I was telling you beforehand, Paul Celso and we had our own little Discord, and that's kind of like where we would communicate with each other. Like even if I was just talking to Paul, I would just do it in there, because whatever. So like he just kind of disappeared from there after a while, because like me and Celso were talking about a few different things, and he just didn't chime in. And it was shortly thereafter that I found out it's like, well, he just gone, his channel's gone and everything. I was like, oh. So I just assumed that he just ripped the Band-Aid off and he's like, I'm done with it, right? You take that last punch. It's just best to just cut it off. I might.
Interesting. Might want to get that off you after, if you do have it, just in case.
I'll have to check. I know we were talking about it, but like we never chatted on the phone. We'd always do this.
Yeah. Well, how's Cortex doing anyway? I totally forgot that guy even existed, to be fair.
I feel so bad for him because he's so right about everything.
How's his channel doing?
Oh, he still does okay. I think he's kind of stuck in the same grind. But
he has 136,000 subscribers. Good for him. Oh yeah, he's kind of doing he gets about 10K.
Yeah, he gets like 10 or 20K. He gets his sponsor money. You can tell that like he'll do videos mostly just for the sponsor money, but it doesn't make what he's looking into any less right. Like he likes to look into the patents. He likes to get into the real, like if you want to be a tech nerd, just watch Cortex. He's getting into the stuff that no sane person really wants to get into.
All of his videos, I'm looking at it right now. The pro AMD ones do the best.
Yeah, well, it's just the market.
Fuck. Cancer, man. He gets a decent amount of views. Any of the ones that shit on Jensen do very well.
Oh yeah, funny. Well, I mean, my channel, anything negative Nvidia was always, anything Nvidia period was always the best. Like I hated doing AMD and Intel content because nobody gives a shit. Like for like pro or against. Like if you just do positive today, negative the next day, 5 days a week Nvidia content, way back when, at least, like that was it. You'll be at like 500,000 subs. You'll get all the money.
I remember that Doughboy. Cortex used to be pro. What? The Adored TV was the other one too. Man, so many channels just fucking disappeared now that I'm thinking about it. That I used to watch back in the day.
Well, once you sit down and actually test it for yourself, that's what it comes down to. And then you have the question: do you tell the truth or not?
That's it. Yeah, I remember Cortex. Yeah, it was the AMD graphics card video, wasn't it? And then all of a sudden, he was like the anti-AMD channel, and he got a bunch of hate for it too. I do feel sorry for all of these tech channels that don't have self-monetization, or they don't sell something. They're fucked.
Yeah,
they're basically all fucked.
Yeah, you have to sell. Yeah, you have to be successful outside of YouTube. YouTube needs to basically just enhance whatever you're doing.
People wonder why I kept my day job for so long, dude. I did not want to put myself in a situation where it was literally because of Paul, by the way. That's why I kept my day job for so long, because I was like, holy shit, this guy is literally just getting abused. His own live streams were so bad, dude. People calling him fat, bald, his beard is ugly, like just like the worst fucking scum.
Yeah, it got real bad after Techonomics. Yeah, because I would pop on and watch every once in a while, and it got really. That's why I'm saying, like, he was getting punched for not enough money.
Like, brutal, dude. Could you imagine what that would do to a guy's? No wonder he has fucking health issues. Imagine the stress of being like, fuck, I gotta go live and take abuse for I'm just a clown getting pies thrown at him for fucking $5.
Right.
That was Paul,
if he was making $500,000 a year, he'd be like, worth it. Yeah. Right. Like he would just be whistling Dixie all the way to the bank. But when you're looking at going like, I made like $1,000 last month, what are we doing here?
Why do you think there's so many people that wanted to abuse him?
Well, if you allow yourself to be abused,
I guess
you'll get abused.
I guess so. You just whatever behavior you'll tolerate is the behavior that you're gonna get, I suppose. Yeah.
For the most part, yeah, it's correct.
Fucking
especially
brutal,
on the
man.
internet, when people can be just the worst of themselves and get away with it.
Brutal, man. I hope I can get him on one day and like show him that you know what? I wish that like there was something a little bit more than just like a ban. I want like a thing to pop up on their screen being like, you're a piece of shit, get the fuck out of here. Like I want a pop-up to show up to make them know. The
only way you could do that is, you could have your stream deck and you could pop something.
I
like,
might
that's the
do
only
that, because I banned 2 people this stream, 3 people. I didn't address them or anything, but I banned.
Right.
But it's like a shadow ban, so I'm not sure if they know that they're banned, but I want them to know.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
Even better is like you can get people. What you should do is just have like a, I don't know, little cartoon guy pooping or something, and then
that's not a
just
bad
have
idea.
and have another thing go. Another one bites the dust, and then like you just hit that, and they don't know that.
Say anything. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I might do
yeah,
that
because they don't know that it's them, and then their engagement's gonna go up because they're gonna be like, "Is it me? Can you guys hear me?" And you're gonna have like every.
You've got all these good ideas now to fucking boost all this shit. It's good stuff.
Oh yeah. But that was always kind of my specialty, was thinking up crap. It becomes a negative, by the way, when you want to do a million things. Like my wife like looks at me sometimes. And it's like, hey, let's do this, let's do this, let's do this. And it's like, we have to pay off all the bills first, or whatever. Like there's something else that needs to get done first. It's like, yeah, but I want to do this. Yeah.
Yeah, Doughboy, when somebody rolls with the punches, what that basically is somebody not wanting to be shunned from the group. If that's I mean,
it's one thing if it's like a legit joke, but like, yeah, when you start attacking people personally, that's a whole other thing.
That's like, not rolling with the punches, man. That's not what that is.
if I came on here, I was like, hey, I can see that Rogaine really working with you. That's a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah.
You can be like, hey, Chris, what happened? You're starting to look like Santa Claus, getting a lot of grays in your beard.
Yeah.
Like, it's a joke. Like, I get it, but the malicious one, and when they're malicious.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. Nah. I'm gonna try to get Paul on as well. I think he fucking might have PTSD. Honestly, it might just be like that level, man. I don't even know. I'm gonna try and get him on. This podcast is a safe haven, and you know what? You know what, Chris? Every single person. You know what's odd? The fact that you were on today, I've gotten more toxicity in the chat than I've gotten the last 2 weeks. Just because I guess people, I was like, oh, Chris is back. We can be pieces of shit again. No, you can't, motherfuckers. No, you can't. But for the most part, when other guests is a good word. When other guests come on, they're usually like, this is the greatest chat and community ever. So if you saw any negative comments, 99% of the time it's not like that. But
no, I didn't actually see any on there. I was just kind of going through most of the guys that I know. I was having a hard time keeping up because of the way that I have this set up. So I just wanted to make sure I didn't miss any from.
Oh no, I'm pretty quick. As soon as I see something, I click that shit and they get removed. Right? I'm quick on that shit. Yeah. But anyway, so just to wrap this up, then you're doing good with your business. Everything is good. Yep. You are healthy. Your family is healthy. Give a little bit of one last update for all your fans and stuff. Because I would love to have you on again. By the way, this was really fun.
Oh,
yeah,
100%. Yeah. So this time frame would work pretty much any Thursday. But yeah, just plan it out a couple of weeks. But last update, I quit smoking. It's a good thing.
Yeah,
so getting healthier
let's
there.
Go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So, yeah.
Congratulations, man.
Yep. That was a big one.
No temptations.
No. I was in church and God, he was speaking to me. He's like, all right, get on your knees and pray right in front of everybody. Which I'm one of those people who doesn't try to get noticed in the crowd. I kind of try to stay back and observe. And he's like, do this. I was like, all right, well, I need your help and I'm not going to say no to you. So I did. And then the next week I never had a cigarette again. I had to humble myself.
That's powerful shit.
And he took care of it. He's like, done. Literally, I just woke up. I was like, today is my non-smoking day. And I just haven't had one in just over a year now. So
from the secular point of view, I need that kind of power.
Yeah, well,
I need to.
There's another guy
out of it.
There's another guy that wanted that power without God as well.
Yeah, fair enough.
He's still around.
Hey man, people call me the devil anyway, so fuck.
No, I don't think you're beyond redemption. Otherwise, you wouldn't be asking me, is this the right thing to do? That question does not apply to people that are too far gone.
We have I don't know what this is. New Zealand $5.
Oh yeah, slow hardware. Thanks, buddy.
Good to see you, Chris. Best of luck with your flipping. Yeah, talk a little bit more about your flipping is going well and everything, and it's all.
Yeah, things are going well. Here, let me go get some visual aids. I'll be right back.
Yeah, fam. I don't know who you guys are talking about with the banning, but yeah, come on, guys, come on. I have I have the dials and the controls, okay? So if there's a single negative fucking word, come on. Anyway, yeah.
You're fired. Like I said, you need a poop button.
It's just you know what the interesting thing is? People still try to test me for some reason. They know. I have a reputation of being Hitler, basically, when it comes to rules, laws, regulation. No, zero fucking tolerance for any negativity, and yet people will still be they'll try. I don't know why people try. It's maybe he's in a good mood today, and
today's the day.
Yeah,
today's the day.
Yeah, it's do I seem like the type of guy that would tolerate that? No. Anyway, what do you got, Chris?
All right. So, anyways, what's really nice about this is got this in a collection the other day.
Oh my god!
So this is factory sealed.
That was one of my favorite fucking games, dude.
See, and this is what happens. Anytime I put these products in front of people, I get that reaction. So that means I automatically have an in with you already. You might not need this.
How much was
this?
That?
This is a $200 game right now. But if you have $200 extra and you love this game enough, and I go, I'll give it to you for $165, I just made a sale.
What did you buy that one for, if you don't mind me asking?
That one was a little low because I didn't know it was sealed. So I paid him off the CIB price. Yeah, well, he didn't. He told me which ones were sealed. And I found a few other ones from the picture. I'm like, that's sealed, that's sealed, that's sealed. I wasn't trying to screw the guy, but that one we definitely did real good on. But like this one, I knew was sealed.
Why did Metroid Prime. Why do they hold on to them for that long?
Well, it's just accident? He was just sitting in his collection in a box or something somewhere. He bought it way back when, and he just was like, yeah, I'm not gonna play it again. Let me get some money for it. So like this guy, I was at an event last Friday, and just a vendor event. So I had a couple tables with games out, and dude's like, do you buy games? It's like, yes, I do. And he sent over some pictures, and like I said, I calculated it up as best I could. Like I missed that one, but like this one, I paid him. This is factory sealed. This is on eBay. This is another like $200 game.
Do you sell them on eBay at all?
Yeah, big items like this would be tough to sell locally. I mean, not that it won't sell, but who wants a sealed condition Metroid Prime Trilogy Collector's Edition for getting graded? There's more people on eBay. You sell it there, you take the fee hit.
What does it? Do you ever grade them or get them graded?
I was debating on it, but grading? It makes more sense to be the guy selling the pickaxes than the guy, digging for the gold.
I see.
So for me, it's better to just pay what I can for this stuff and then just make my percentage and let other people do their thing. Same sort of thing with this one. So we got like a lot of really heavy games in it. It was an awesome Wii collection. This is the last story. This is the collector's edition. This is a big Wii game. So this is another one that somebody's going to want to get graded. So like I knew that I could pay up a little bit on these.
Dude, even the way you handle them, you handle it with so much care.
Oh, somebody's going to go pay to get those graded. So yeah, they have to be in good shape. I'm going to bubble wrap the snot out of them. But like those are like high-end items that came in. Those won't do so well locally, so those will go on eBay. But like Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, that I sell locally and keep more of my money.
Is there any way that I can help you with that? Like if I can like source stuff locally? Like what if I come across like a palette of like games for like fucking $400? Like should I DM you?
If you like going like garage selling and that sort of stuff, or if you just know people that's like, I got a closet full of games and I'm trying to get rid of it. I mean, you can, but it's kind of tough because you kind of have to have a certain base knowledge, or you have to pay like nothing for it and be like, I'll give you 50 cents a game. Doesn't matter what, like you'd have to pay 50 cents for these because maybe you pay $1 because you don't know what the value is. And it wouldn't be worth your time looking them up individually. But yeah, if anybody has like a collection that they're looking to get rid of, you can pass them along. Just send them my email.
That's interesting.
And I can make an offer, and that's the best way to do it. So just be like, hey, email this guy.
Last question for you before we call it. I don't want to take up too much of your time. If this whole game selling retro thing, let's say in 5 years it just fizzles or doesn't pan out or whatever, what would you do? What would you do? Or what's your alternate plan?
I mean, like I said, I can go buy a trailer and go pick up sticks.
Yeah,
I can do anything.
the reason why I ask is because I'm always looking for things to do to keep myself self-monetized and not relying on other shit, right? So I just got into like dividend stocks and stuff, and I'm putting a lot of money in there to get like a monthly. I know. They're slow and secure.
Slow and secure, which is nice. But I would recommend, I don't have the knowledge base. Do you know how to work on engines, cars, stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay, if you know how to do that, go buy yourself a little garage. Like, if you got some yard, go.
I can't do that. Fuck.
I mean, it's great money. You go buy a car for $1,000. You put in like $4 or $5 grand. You sell it for 25, 30 grand. Like it's the easiest 20 grand you're ever gonna make.
That's true. It's not easy.
It's one of those.
It's not. It's a. Oh my god, is it a lot of work? But yeah, no, a lot of mechanics do that in their off time.
Right, but that's the thing. Like you can do one car a month probably in part time, just in spare time.
That's true.
So if you're making 15, 20 grand extra a month just part time, like I don't have the knowledge of that. I did the thing that everybody was told to do when we were kids: get into computers, which is a skill that's completely worthless nowadays.
Yeah,
it just is. I feel you. So, but yeah, like that's huge business opportunity. Like in the state that I would probably, like, if this didn't work out, I would just find something else to flip. I mean, it's just the easiest money in the world. Tools would be a good one. What I really want to get into after this is successful, is tool rentals. Like forklifts and whatever, machinery, heavy equipment. Yeah, like that kind of stuff. I want to have a rental shop with,
you're not the first person that's actually mentioned that. They're like rental services is like big, like party rental services. So like
that's pretty big too.
Yeah, you just have a warehouse of like tables and shit, and you just like set it up for people, then you take it down after and stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of weird shit like that. Yeah, there's a lot of weird kind of stuff like that. Yeah,
open up my own flea market or something like that. Like around here, cool. There's like a 6-month wait list to get in there, which means demand is very high, supply is too low. I mean, there's just so many different opportunities. Literally everywhere I go, that's another business opportunity. My wife hates it because I'll be like, there's another $1 million idea. That's not, like, it takes a lot of time and effort, and like you just can't do all of it.
Your brain's just wired that way now, though, right?
Oh yeah, well, it's always kind of been that way. Like I was more focused while I was doing the channel. Like literally the amount of effort the channel, even in the late stages, the amount of brain power that was wasted on that, I could have been doing all of this. Like that's the reason why I had to let it all go. It's like, that's why when you mentioned before, do you want to do another channel? No,
the time not until I have analysis. Yeah,
until I could pay Timmy to deal with all of it, start to finish. I'm just on the camera talking for 10 minutes, and then I'm peacing out. That's as much as I would be willing to do moving forward, because yeah, my time is. Right now, I'm trying to plan our property. My wife wants to buy another house. The houses we really want are close to $1 million, which we cannot afford. I'm like, we're kind of in the 500,000 range, and that's a bit of a stretch. And the house we have now is basically free at this point, and the mortgage interest rate's so low. Like, it's just crazy to move anyway. But yeah, so I'm just trying to think. All right, well, if I do this, if I do that, so. Anyways, brain power is just better used on that sort of stuff, in my opinion.
Cool, man. I do want to keep in touch on like those business ideas and stuff, though, because
sure.
So I even though I'm technically full time now, I have the option of going back to work in October, which I'm not going to do. It's funny because the second that I stopped my day job, my YouTube monetization like 4x, so there's no point in actually going back to the day job. But when I make that decision in October, that's permanent at that point, right? So I'm doing a lot of like stock trading. I'm doing a lot of course consulting, bundles. I'm doing a lot of
the course is good.
Yeah, the course was. I'm going to be spamming a lot of courses going forward. Oh my God. Dude, the reception for that course has been, you know why? It's so simple when you think about it. Nobody knows how a PC works.
Not anymore.
No. And if you try to Google it, you have the AI problem where it just feeds you misinformation anyway. So it's like, you have to buy the course if you want your PC to work. I fucking nailed it. It was a complete accident, but just from doing all the COD Bro consults for like those 2 years, I'm like, well, these are all the problems that keep coming up every single day. I'm just going to make a course out of it. And it's a fucking gangbuster, dude. Yeah, absolute gangbuster.
Like that's great. If like, I remember when you got your RAM and that did well for you. What I would recommend for you is to become your own brand. Push your own brand, build your own product, make it unique. Like I said,
that's another good way to go with that too. Yeah.
Take Steam OS, figure it out, dick around with it, optimize the snot out of that. There's
I was thinking about that too. Yeah, some of my
money in
were
that.
talking about that. Yeah, like optimizing
big money
handhelds
there.
and stuff.
Well, it wouldn't even just be handhelds. You can do like actual PCs on it now too.
Yeah.
So like, but nobody's doing it because it runs so well out of the box. But in handhelds, it makes more sense because you get more battery life. There's an actual tangible benefit to having your stuff run better. So like, I think there's a big market there. But like, maybe you just sell the Frame Chasers box. Like all it is just like an AMD APU, but it's got your version.
The only thing that I don't like about physical products is you're liable for other people's incompetence, which is what the RAM kit taught me, and the selling PCs to people. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's true, especially if you use PayPal, and they can always jump ship on that one.
No, like fucking I'll sell a PC to a COD bro, and like 3 years will go by, and he's like, bro, my PC is crashing. I'm like, what the fuck? It's been 3 years. What are you messaging me for? And then we jump on a call. I tweeted this one. He takes off his front cover, and there's a film of dust like this thick. I'm like, bro, what are you messaging me for? Like, we were me and my mod Tyet, literally joking like yesterday in the Discord. We're like, because I'm building a battlefield for a battlefield, bro. I'm like, I gotta use a cryo sheet. I gotta make sure I have to structure the PC in such a way so that it never needs to use maintenance. And none of the paste is dry. It needs to I basically need to have a box where it needs to last forever without them touching it. That's how what Xbox is doing with the next Xbox. All right, basically.
so I've legit. Well, funny you mentioned Xbox. The solution to your problem is you need to partner with somebody else and let them deal with all of it, and you just do whatever you do.
I'm not big enough for that, though. Yeah, no, I need to design the product, and somebody else needs to deal with the manufacturing.
Well, what you can do is, like, even if it's just like another like boutique PC seller or something, go, all right, like, but just have your own ISO, like your own image. So it's like, this is pre-tuned, it's got everything, just load it and done.
That's not a bad idea, yeah.
And then what you do is you just go, okay, so I'll do all of this. These are the parts that you need to do. This is the cost, like on Newegg for the parts, which they should be able to get it cheaper than that. Yeah. And go, these guys pay like $1,500 on top, so $1,500 margin. I get $750 per unit.
You know what's interesting? There have been a few system integrators that have tried to like poach me or like hire me for their companies. I wonder if there's something I can do there, like with what you're saying.
Like I said, if you can make an image file where it's all done.
Yeah.
You don't have to touch anything.
What's stopping them from just robbing that, though? I guess you have to get into like contracts and shit too, don't you?
Yeah. And if they do, you sue the crap out of them. Yeah. So yeah, like you have to hire a lawyer. You go pay the lawyer $1,000, draw me up the contract. Here we go. Right. And then you're protected. It's a business to business thing. It's not just Joe Schmo to Joe Schmo.
I've been very reluctant to do anything involving another human. I've been very reluctant to go that route because
as a business it makes sense.
Fucking scum.
Well, they can be, but put a lawyer in between you and other people and it'll be okay.
Yeah.
Because if the lawyer screws up, guess what? You go after the lawyer. So like there's a chain of people's butts on the line, so nobody gets completely screwed.
Okay,
but I would say if you could figure something out like that, keep with the courses, but you definitely need product. If you have actual things for people to buy, it's good. Affiliate links are only going to last so long.
Yeah,
you need to offer something that nobody else has. If you got something that's like I said, these are sealed, but like the quality of the product that I sell is the highest. Like you don't see things in this condition. So when I charge $10 more than the guy right next to me, people will pay me the $10.
Yep.
And that allows me to be more competitive.
You always want to, if there's one thing we learned from NVIDIA, you always want to be the premium brand. Always. Yeah. Never compete on price, compete on premiumness. But
I mean, there's a place for budget. I got like a $5 wall.
Yeah.
It's like whatever, but that's it. Everything else is premium.
Yeah. Let's call it there then. It's been 2.5 hours, but I really appreciate you coming on today and and co-hosting with me and everything. Let's stay in touch. I'll get you on again for sure. We have a lot more to catch up on and shit. Dude, I love the 100%. Business talk though. If like next time we hop on, all business talk. I love, my audience loves that shit too, because it gives them ideas. I have this like group of really high level supporters that pay me a lot of money every month, and that's what we talk about, how to make more money. Like, because that's what they're in.
How to better yourself. Yeah,
exactly.
Like, like the advice that I gave you in this video, I could legit charge money for.
100%.
I don't.
Oh yeah.
I give it away to my friends for free. 100%. However, if you guys want to enhance your business and want some ideas, I'm sure I can come up with a business idea for that.
Make a business. I guess YouTube's fucking.
It's business consultancy, but
that's right. Yeah. Forget it. All right, so we'll call it there, man. I will. I'm gonna stay live for like 5 more minutes because I gotta respond to some comments. But I will see you. Yeah, I'll see you the next one or whatever. I'll contact you.
Just hit me up, man. Sounds good.
Thanks so much for coming, Chris.
Oh, you're welcome.
Later,
you guys have a great day. God bless you guys.